But at least now it can't get much worse.
But it did get worse.
I told people, I've said this forever, I don't burn bridges with people. They'll burn them with me, and that's okay. And maybe I like closet, but I rarely will disassociate.
Some of you don't like Ralph, and that's okay. Ralph was good to me. Ralph had me on the kill stream when I had like 2,000 subscribers. But Ralph has always been a good friend to me in this show.
I met Ralph once. I think he's sweet.
He's great. But again, Kurt's been a bro to the channel for a very long time, and if I can help him out, I absolutely will do what I can. Kurt has always been a friend to me from the get-go. The first time Kurt and I interacted, from that time on, Kurt and I have always been friends.
Kurt is a stand-up, solid guy. He's a good dude with good intentions. And Kurt has the courtesy to be honest with me.
Guys, it should be pretty obvious who I like on Law 2. Joe Neerman, potentially criminal, legal vices, legal mindset, Sean. And my good friend Sean says, now you're getting into rule of lenity issues with the ambiguity. I agree. Yeah, Sean is great.
He's actually pretty funny. He's actually pretty funny.
Have you guys ever been to kiwifarms.net? My buddy Moon, Josh.
The top autists of the Kiwi Farms have spent innumerable hours researching this topic. And
why is the Kiwi Farms the funniest website on the planet? I love the autists at Kiwi Farms. I really do. Speaking of archiving, what do you think of some of the Kiwis? Yeah, Anonymous, I believe, is a lawyer, and that guy's he's great. I like him. The Kiwis are great. You retards are bottom barrel farmers. It's getting really fucking embarrassing. I have never cared to follow the antics of Ethan Ralph. I hope whatever is going on that Ralph's in good spirits. He's always been a friend to me. You're gonna find Ralph shoving a dildo in his ass, him shoving a fucking object in his ass, because he is not a man. Ralph is not a man. This is a weirdo, an internet weirdo. If you've never heard of Ethan Ralph,
Is this the same Ethan Ralph?
I'm always thankful for Ralph for having me on the kill stream. I consider him a buddy. Ethan Ralph's a giant bitch.
Okay.
Dude, I'm enmeshed in all of the petty drama of the internet. I hate it. Guys, I fucking hate drama. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate drama. I hate that people keep getting brought up in drama. I hate anything related to it. I know you got this thing, and you need to be cool with Kiwi Farms.
I don't give a shit about the farms. The farms can hate me. I'm a fat fucking all that.
I'm just a bunch of faggots, and I get it, but the farms just the only people who don't know their day while they got a dick in their ass. Kiwi Farms faggots is the biggest hand-wringing group of Karen faggots on the planet. Oh, think of the children. It's where someone on Kiwi Farms will
Where one pedophile says to another, yeah.
One pedo says to the next, Kiwi Farms, no matter how much you hate them, no matter how much they dox people and swat people. And by the way, if you're getting doxed on Kiwi Farms because you posted bullshit that doxed you, doxing victim of Kiwi Farms right here. I posted all the shit requisite for them to find it. It doesn't matter. I'm like, Josh, stop being a fucking loser. There's no reason for us to be fighting you, gay boy. I've never actually been mad at Josh. I'm still not even mad at him because I know he's retarded. He's like the Down syndrome kid that you take to get cake, and he's like, I want ice cream. I'm like, no, it's the cake store. And that's Josh. And I'm still not, dude, I sent him a thing. I'm like, Josh, why are we fighting? This is so stupid. Cheers to Josh Moon, most autistic person on earth with zero human interactive experience. Go get him, Josh. I love you. I hope your suicide. Wait, oh shit. But sorry, Josh. Having a little trouble mustering the sympathy for you, you faggot.
There are people out there that didn't get bullied enough, and they're still fucking nerds. And all those people should be bullied and beaten to death. Is that sandwich for Sean? No, I don't have 2 loaves of bread. By the way, you want a fucking nerd? There's one. I'm gonna paint my models. You have fun. What a loser.
I've been painting you have to get a lot of paint on them. So I've been working on the gold on this belt.
I know about lard. Yes, I've encountered Sean and Kurt, bunch of fat losers. I hope most of those people choked to death on something, so I have no compassion or pity left for any of them. Kurt, that's because you're as interesting as glass, man. You're dull. Being his friend is like pulling teeth out of a horse.
What's up? Hey, Kurt in the chat says he admires me. Well, thank you, Kurt. I admire you too, buddy. I really do. Because if I wasn't empathetic, kind, loyal, I would not have been friends with you. We were in different echelons of YouTube, of life, of physical and mental health, brother, because you are sad and have been sad ever since I met you. And it's soul crushing to be around you. It is soul crushing. That's what being a friend is, though. You should take some notes. I see Uncivil Law. Uncivil Law sent a chat. He said, thanks for chilling with me on my channel. Always fun, my man. And congrats again for all your success. Looking sharp in that shirt. Hey, thanks. But he's got this list. He's got a list, and it comes up whenever someone wrongs him. And he has the list of grievances, right? He's like a dwarf. Warhammer dwarves have a book of grudges.
Oh, I'm glad you explained it to me. I was very lost.
Warhammer dwarves have a book of grudges, and they have to check, like, they will go on death quests to check off to rectify the grudges.
What another fantastic banger of a clip from Third World Aristocrat. How's it going, guys? I still have a bit of a cold, but be sure to hit that like button. As you know, we can't get over 500 live viewers on this channel, but maybe we can get over 400 likes, so we'll see what we can do. But I have so many schizo tabs tonight. I wanted to wait until there was some more information. I wanted to wait until there was a certain something, but look at all these tabs. Look at all these tabs. We've got to get through this. Otherwise, it's just never going to, it's just going to never be done. It's just never going to be done. So, yeah, Rob says, nice edit. Third World Aristocrat is consistently getting better at editing, and it's making me feel bad that I'm not working on my editing skills, but very good. The Chergy Show Live says, could be wrong, but I think Minnesota only drops during his nightly streams. Is Rackets doing a late night stream? We don't know. He said he's not going to be doing a late night stream, I think, until after the Karen Read trial. Whether that's when the drops are going to come, we don't know. What we do allegedly know is that there is 70 pages of docs to be dropped, and they could come anytime, but maybe tonight will be the night. So anyway, where do we start in the schizo board? Actually, I think first we'll do a little bit of a, let me see, where were we? I really don't know where to start, actually. All right, I guess we'll just start with this. Okay, so let's go back in time. Last week, Nick is doing the Karen Read trial. He's consistently getting less views per day, with the exception of Monday, his return. But we're going to talk about that later. But he had this little thing to say. This is a short clip from Alyssa. I'm going to like the video. Be sure to like this video as well. And it says, why is Rekieta Law's voice changing so much and so often? So let's check this out.
Why does my voice change so much so often? Well, because when you're gone from streaming for a year, and you go from talking every day and hearing yourself talk every day to not,
okay,
your voice actually changes, and the way you talk changes, and it's hard to recognize.
Now, like, I'm just going to stop this for a second. We're only 20 seconds into this, but I think he's completely misreading the entire question. It's why does your voice change so often during these streams, not from the older videos? Now, yeah, if you don't do something for a while, you do lose the ability to do something. So Nick is correct there. But people are talking about when he goes away for these mystery breaks, and then all of a sudden he's got his pitch is dropping or something. That's what we're talking about here. Did he go to Vegas? Oh, I see uncivil. Look, disloyal Kurt in the chat. Actually, I got a thing I was going to say about Kurt. Where was it? Oh, we've got too many fucking schizo tabs. Damn it. Anyway, I was just going to look for that. I'll find it eventually. But Kurt had a stream with 5,000 people with the Turtle Boy interview, crushing the competition. But we'll talk about that later on. And also, JB Behemoth says, Safa, Kurt Safa. Yes, indeed. Sorry, got to try and get through this. I need to order my thoughts together.
Like normally, how you kind of are influenced by what you're talking about and how you hear yourself. But I noticed that after a year, like I sound way different to me in a lot of ways. And part of it's because of what I went through, put myself through. I don't know, everybody jumps on everything I say now. That's another.
Now, this is true. I will give Nick a little bit of sympathy. That's not a good place to be in when you don't know what you can say because you've told so many lies, you don't know where you are anymore. Anytime he tries to suggest anything, it's very easy to disprove and prove that he is in fact a liar, a cuckold, and just not a very good guy at all. But yeah, I can understand that being stressful, but it's a prison of your own design, and you kind of get what you deserve in life. It's kind of funny how that works.
Part of it is everybody jumps on everything that I say. So there may be like hesitations and sentences and stuff like that that occur. But part of the reason my voice will change quite a bit is because I'll notice it. I'll notice it drift, and I'll have to adjust it back.
He's consciously
but it's
speaking.
Weird going from
it's like manually breathing. He has to manually change his pitch. It's not just automatic anymore. He's just his facade. He has to get back into the groove of pretending to be a good man, pretending to be a good husband, pretending to be a good father, pretending to be loyal, and pretending to be a good friend. All of these things take work. It's using up his mental RAM, as Chris Chan might say.
Like not thinking about how you talk to hearing yourself talk differently and going, wait, don't always like the way I sound. So you have to get used to it. You have to rebuild the muscle. You have to practice back into how your voice
That's
comes
right.
across.
He needs to train his throat. He's no longer the throat goat now that Aaron has left the equation, but he still thinks about him every night. But what this chat was obviously inferring is the whippet situation. So we have a picture of this is from the same stream. Nick will go out. He'll disappear. He'll come back. His nose is bright red, like he's leading Santa Claus through a snowy night or something. And people are like, well, maybe he's doing whippets. Now, Keanu, or Kian-Hu as I refer to her as, she dropped the whippet edit. Well, actually, she didn't drop the whippet. She dropped like 8 hours of whippets, and some poor Kiwi farmer went through and edited the compilation, which was absolutely fantastic. It's the only way to watch Keanu is the supercut, if at all. But so this is the theory: is that is Nick doing whippets to get past his probation? Now, why would he be doing whippets? Now, whippets, if you're unaware, is nitric oxide, and I don't know. I'm not going to pretend I know how it all works, but I believe what happens is that the feeling of suffocation comes from carbon dioxide in your bloodstream. Now, when you breathe in nitrous oxide, it doesn't activate that thing in your self-defense system. So basically, you suffocate your own brain, and that gives you a quick high without any of the feelings of suffocating. Now, if I'm wrong about this, you can correct me. That's fine. But it's a pretty stupid thing to do, and it may be the reason that Nick has all these holes in his brain. Now, there has never been any evidence that he's done the whippets except for Keanu, unless he just comes out and straight up admits it. No, oh my god! Whenever I zoom in, I ruin all my tabs. But let me see. Where was this? Shit. Here it is. So, in one of his unhinged, seething Twitter rants, he goes on to say, in response to a comment that says, try and exercise some basic reasoning. Basic reasoning tells me that the former alcoholic and cocaine addict and current Adderall and nitrous abuser is still lying to everyone. Nick responded saying, I take 10 milligrams of Adderall a day or less as prescribed. I don't take nitrous, sorry. I have in the past. So he just admits it. He did the whippets. Keanu vindicated. She's still a flat slag, but that's her problem. But this is a very vague thing to say, in the past. When is in the past? Is 30 minutes ago on stream, is that in the past? He says they don't do it in the present. Now, this is one of those Nickisms or the lawyerisms where, hey, wait, what am I thinking of? There we go. Never mind. Where he says, well, I did it in the past. I don't do it in the present. And that's a true statement until he does them again. In that case, it'll also be true because he's not doing it in the present. It's something he did in the past. It's funny how that works. The past is a very vague area. Unfortunately, there's some more. Now, Scarebro, who I'll be referencing a bit tonight, says, as part of discussion today, Aaron revealed that Rekieta Law took Rugiet, a medication meant to treat ED. as well. Now, that is, of course, the broke dick Nick saga that we're getting into now. Aaron said Blue Chew was 6 milligrams, while a Ruget is apparently 25. So he needs to take these industrial strength horse Blue Chews because he's put himself through so much abuse that he literally can't even get it up. Now, he actually goes on. Now, this is one of those Aaron things. And Aaron, it's Aaron. You can't trust him, right? Aaron is a big liar, apparently. I'm sure he does lie from time to time, just like Nick lies all the time. But Nick actually goes out to confirm this today, which is pretty wild, in his ongoing quest to make us think that Aaron is the worst person in the world. Now, I think that Aaron's a pretty dodgy dude. He's got a lot of court cases for a lot of nasty stuff, and he sounds like he did some pretty bad shit. Now, here's the thing. The more you say that Aaron is a bad guy, it only shows that you too are a bad guy. Because Aaron is an abuser, but he was good enough for Kayla. Aaron is a drug abuser and a danger to his children, but he was good enough to bang Kayla. Aaron deserves to be in the ground, but he was good enough to bang Kayla. This is the weird thing that I don't think Nick understands. He's doing this like kamikaze assault on Aaron where he's destroying his own credibility to the point that this week, the last weekend, just a few days ago, he flew down to Vegas to sit around with a group of fat men who talk about Aaron's dad bod and then drop the DMs. And we'll go through the Hackamania stuff as we get into it. But I just don't get it. What is the point of this? Anyway, let's see. So, despite a higher dose, Aaron claims the pills would not work on occasion. So, even with the might of the industrial pharmaceutical college, Nick cannot get a hard on. All you need to do is go for a fucking run. Stop taking drugs, stop taking alcohol, and go for a run. That's all it takes. Viewers also noted that Nick's hand is showing indications of clubbing. Clubbing is a condition where the fingernails or the fingertips bulge, indicating a variety of health issues. Now, I don't know about this. Do you guys think this is true or not? This is pretty weird. I've noticed this in people before, but like since I have very nice and very fine fingernails, I have never even considered or heard of the situation known as clubbing. Does this look like clubbing to us? It's a bit, what the fuck is this? I just noticed this like tooth floss. Is this like a chain of cum or something that he's stolen from Aaron and he's wearing it to remember him by? Is that their special friendship bracelet? People have also noticed that he stopped wearing the blue silicone ring, which was a, he wore the blue silicone ring, I guess because his morals were flexible. But no, he said he used to wear it because it was like, he didn't want to get degloved while exercising. Now, after 10 years of consecutively not exercising, I guess he decided it was time to put on the real wedding ring to reinvigorate his vows or something, but who knows? Anyway, where were we? Now that I've screwed up my tabs, here it goes. Oh, here it is. This is what I was looking for. So Autistic Right on the Farm says, right, so over the last few days, he's confirmed that he does nitrous. He paid bonds so that he could still drink during the previous arc. Still loves, and I mean really likes April and her fishy gash. Does Molly, would crush it, needs a special type of strong Viagra because his pine needle don't work. He has no hobbies and no friends. No sex. You need to let the other cows have a chance at lolcal of the year. What are you doing? When you need to have a special type of Viagra that also acts as some kind of aphrodisiac, you need to reconsider life. Keep going. It's entertaining. And here we've got an effective chart, I guess, to show you how much stronger it is. That's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Brandon is your garbage says, he hit the first whip at get. Oh, I got to put down the cats. Sorry. We've got to unleash the cats. I always forget to do that. There we go. The cats are out. The cats are out of the bag. And Brandon is in your garage. Member 5 months says pro doesn't show up on a test. Con brain damage. Yes, that's the idea is why he's doing the whippets, is that because it won't show up on a test result. Anyway, just on a small side note, like the no friends thing, the super tips situation has reminded me of a really ancient post. Here it is. Do you guys ever remember this? This was an old. This is from the meme archive where you've got a little clay guy and it says, "Notice while you're reading this, there is a man in one of those windows high above you who is taking your photograph. He will then make a Wii model of you and put it in with the other Wii models of people. Then he plays weird games with them." This is exactly what Nick's doing. He's making these weird models because he misses his friends. It's very, very sad. Very, very sad. Anyway, let's get into the stuff. Okay, let me see. Where was this one? What was this one for? Really, one of these days, I'll learn to stop scrolling when I'm doing anything. So, I guess we'll go into the first part of the arc, which is Nick's declining numbers, and this is something that he's revealed is affecting him, and that's, I think, what I wanted to find from here. There's a video link I'm looking for, but if you've been watching the last stream we did, we talked about how Nick, he had a pretty good return. I think he got like 60,000 views or something on his first stream back. But the numbers get worse and worse and worse as it goes on, to where he's losing about 10% per stream and 20% over the week or something like that. But Daffodils is someone that's also been tracking this as well as myself, even though I don't have an account on the farms. He says 10 shows in and Nick's third return to streaming. It's time to look at how he's doing. How do his current YouTube numbers compare to 10 consecutive shows from the same time period in the past 10 years? This is an interesting one, comparing Nick to himself. And this is actually a really good example of what you should be doing, because that's really all you have to compete against. You can see here in 2022, his evening shows, he would get on average 120,000 views, sometimes going up as high as 150. The lows being around 80,000. That's some good earnings. That's some good consistent content. Let's see, in 2023, this is wait, these colors look wrong. I think these colors are completely wrong. Oh well. But you can see here that the Karen Read is not doing so hot. It's doing pretty bad. It's doing slightly better than 2024 though, so I guess that's nice. We'll have to see how it goes. Now, let me see if that video is there. I really want to see that video. Must be here somewhere. Is this it? Here it is. Thank you. I found it. All right, so let's listen to Nick's own words. And this is when we get into the viewbot / the Burkhart break boy is what I've been calling it. Well, let's see what Nick has to say. How does it play?
Here, if you're not familiar with Ronnie O'Neill, but
Hickory dickory dock. Kurt's breath smells like crotch rot. When the clock struck 2, Kurt snorted mangoo while picking crust off of his cock.
Oh my gosh, no. Adam says, did the beginning of the stream get cut? YouTube, something happened on YouTube. First of all, thanks YouTube for whatever happened, because I think they took me off of Dunt's suspension and finally started distributing my stream out, which is awesome.
All right. That is a very telling statement. So Nick, when he returned to streaming, things were going down, but this weird thing started happening where he started to get a spike in his viewers. And I analyzed this and I found an interesting trend. Okay. But in Nick's own words here, he said, thank you, YouTube. They have lifted the suspension and now people are seeing my content. This says that Nick himself is concerned about these views. So when you talk about these views, when you talk about his declining channel, it makes him seethe, it makes him rage, and it's very funny to see. But you can see that he knows something's wrong. People aren't watching, but there's a weird thing happening, and I will admit there is something weird happening. We're going to talk about that, but let's see what Nick says in this part. And I think that this is probably more user error than anything, because as you know, Nick is idolizing Melton and the Aaron's Children Appreciation Crew or whatever. And they use the super tip system. He implemented the super tip system. One thing that Melton does is he doesn't allow you to rewind. You have to watch the current. There's no replay option or whatever. I can't remember what the setting is called. But I wonder if Nick was trying to set his stream up like that, and that's what caused these replay issues. But maybe something's wrong. Let's hear what else he says.
Because we went from 2,200 viewers to 5,800 viewers, and it's nice to have people back into the show, because a lot of people have said, like, we didn't know you were back, and I'm glad that maybe that's getting out to people that they're here.
Now, this does happen. You subscribe to people, and sometimes YouTube doesn't give you your notifications. And coming back, it's always going to be an uphill battle because you lose. It's not so much the actual algorithm, it's the audience. And what I mean by that, and Nick will go on to say that I don't know anything about streaming, which is very funny. But actually, I mean, he does better than me when he's streaming. But in video views, not quite. A little bit, but not quite. But he goes on to say, I'm losing my train of thought here. Maybe I've been huffing too much nitrous as well. That he knows that something is wrong. Now I remember what I was going to say. I was going to say the consistency. If you're there every night, and I know I do this terribly because I can't find a consistent schedule or day. But like if you stream the same time every day at the same time, people know when you're streaming and they just build a habit. And getting people into that habit is the most important thing that you can do. as a streamer. You want them being a part of your day. And this is what made Nick so popular in the early days, is he was very conscientious. He would stream almost every day. He had a dream. He had a dream that he would stream so much, there'd be so much content you could not consume it. But then he decided to take basically a year break, and people moved on. They found better products. Now, when I analyzed this, and I said, because people are saying maybe he's being view botted. And I said, regarding Nick Rekieta and alleged view botting, over the past few trial days, a strange trend has been noticed. Nick will gain thousands of viewers for approximately an hour who then disappear with no increase in super chats that normally accompany such viewers. That is very weird. That is very, very weird. If you go from 2,000 live viewers to 5,000 and you only make the same in super chats or $3 extra, that sounds a lot like view botting. It's a bit weird. But what else could explain this? Nick has put forth a counter theory that YouTube autoplays is sending him viewers as other streams end during a lunch break. Now, this is a good explanation for the theory. If a lot of people do half streams, they stream the bottom part of Karen Read, then they take a 2-hour break or whatever for lunch. And as they end those streams, autoplay will select something that is still in that sort of genre. So it is very likely that people that used to watch Nick's channel or were adjacent law tubers and they're watching them now, like Andrea Burkhart or Uncivil Law or Emily DeBaker or Legal Bites or anyone who does these trial streams, they may be automatically redirected, and maybe it just autoplays for a while and then they kind of realize what's going on and they leave it. But typically when you do that, you see a rush of people in chat. Like when you raid someone, everyone's like, me raid, or like, let's go, hit the like, that sort of thing. So if it was a stream raid or if it was autoplays, I think there would be people announcing themselves in the streams. So I had a look, and I think that Nick was half correct. I assume that some were coming from other streamers or autoplays, but the majority seems to be coming from Andrea Burkhart's stream during her dead air lunch break. So Andrea Burkhart, who you may remember was a minor law tuber during the glory days of Rekieta, she is popping off in an incredible way. She is getting something like 10, 20,000 live viewers. She's making thousands of dollars a day. It's like her and Andrea Burkhart and also another female lawyer, Melanie Little, I think her name is. They're doing some absolute crazy numbers for these streams. These are numbers that Nick used to be able to pull, but he can seem to no longer do. Now, when I looked at Burkhart's stream, I noticed that there was almost a perfect correlation with Nick and Burkhart. Now, this lines are a little bit. I had to move them over a little bit because, like, you can see that Nick's peak is not anywhere near Andrea's lowest part. So this is when there's dead air, like literally nothing happening on screen. People would leave Burkhart's stream and then they'll go to another law streamer, maybe Nick's. I mean, maybe some people go to Emily DeBaker, who typically I think talks through her breaks, so she's able to retain all that goodwill and all of that momentum in the streaming. But as Andrea comes back, Nick's numbers would slowly decline, and I thought this was a pretty much as good as I needed to see. But Nick pointed out one thing. Okay, so he had a little message for me. This is on Alyssa Clip's channel. It says, "Thank God for Meme Copium. He's so dumb. Re the Rekieta view bots." And this was from May 7th. Let's take a look.
So I'm happy to announce I was perusing Twitter there, and I was talking about the random views that keep showing up. And thank God Meme Copium is out there to defend my honor and say that, you know,
Hey, what can you say except you're welcome?
I'm not out there buying views, which
now I never suggested that Nick was buying views, but I'm starting to kind of cotton on to the theory that maybe one of his dumbass viewers is doing this.
Buying views does not make any sense to me at all.
It would also be very stupid idea for Nick, because the first time he got this boost of 2,000 viewers, he decided to take a ad break. And you can do this at YouTube. You can either set YouTube to play a custom manual ad, or you can do like automation. And most people do automation, and YouTube kind of just decides when to play it. But the first time that Nick got a peak from 2,000 up to 5,000, he's like, oh, let me play an ad. Now, if you do this, that is against YouTube's terms of service, and that's a really bad idea. So if it is one of Nick's fans that is view botting him because they're so embarrassed that they're the law pope is not back and he's being crushed by similar law streams, they may be doing it like with the best intention, but they could actually jeopardize Nick's future. So I would recommend them not to do that. And if Nick has a suspicion that he's being view botted, he really needs to get into contact with his channel. What are they? Channel liaison, or the person at YouTube that he knows that manages his stuff. Because Nick actually got a YouTube liaison very early in his career. Typically, you get one at 100,000, but he got his, I think, around want to say 60,000, because he was just bringing in so much money through super chats. They wanted to find out what he was doing because they wanted to push forward this model. He could have been an example, but he really should contact them and tell them, look, I don't know what's going on. It's not me. Please don't yeet me.
It could be someone.
Why is it against terms of service? Are you serious? I mean, I guess it's a fair question if you don't do videos. So YouTube makes its money through primarily advertiser revenue, and streamers make more of their revenue through super chats and things like that. But the bread and butter of YouTube is ad views. YouTube is always been like about the live, the view count, not the live viewers. But they want to kind of take some of Twitch's pie there, as well as Kick and other channels like that. But so if an advertiser company like Coca-Cola, they pay, you know, like $10 per 1,000 views or something. They want 1,000 people to see that ad. If you are buying fake views from like a Russian view bot or something like that, and then Coca-Cola gets 10,000 bot views from Russia, they don't get a return on their investment. So that's why it's against turbo service. It's essentially a scam if you're doing it that. So if you buy yourself viewers to game the system, that's abuse of the AdSense system. And that's basically the one rule you can't break. Like there's a lot of things you can get forgiven for, but abusing AdSense is not one of them. You really don't want that to happen to you. But that's kind of why you wouldn't want to do it.
Messing around. But his assessment is that it's people coming over from Andrea Burkhart's stream as she goes to lunch.
He's the Burkhart break time boy. Say it, chat. Nick is the break boy. Look at him. Look at him seething. The funny thing is that I'm a wee channel, okay? We can't even break 500 viewers. Be sure to like all 600 of you right now. I would appreciate that. But like, why does my opinion make him seethe so much? It's because like, we can't really, the only enemy we really have to worry about is ourselves. And Nick is exposing himself that he actually cares about this. And just by accident, when I was trying to solve an interesting puzzle of why Nick was getting these spikes of views, I actually kind of figured out his biggest insecurity, apart from, I guess, his broke dick.
Whatever. Maybe, I don't know. The 4,000 likes on yesterday's video makes me think that there's some other shenanigans going on.
Now, this is an interesting point that I missed. And the reason I missed this is because, you know, surprise, surprise, I actually don't watch Nick's show. I think it's long. I think it's boring. I wait for the people like Alyssa to clip it up, or I look at the farms to find the juicy parts. I've got shit to do, typically sleeping, because he starts like streaming like, basically his stream starts at like 10 or 11 p.m. my time. So I go to bed. But this is an interesting thing. This is an interesting thing. I think I got a picture of it here. Right. So this is what he's talking about. And this is an example. You can see here that on, oh, this is a rough day. This is a rough day. This is a 7-hour stream or something. And he made $40 in super chats. That's rough. That's rough. Now, Nick will tell you that he's making $200 a day or something in super tips. I don't know if I believe that. But I don't calculate super tips. I'm going to wait for somebody else to figure out like a bot. I think this is already being made on the farms by Third World Aristocrat. He's like, he's doing my entire job for him. I should be paying him or something. But you can see here, there is a blip here. This is where the views come up. Maybe this is all his viewers could afford. But yeah, 4,000 likes. That's really weird. Typically, Nick will get about 1,000 likes. So I'm actually half and half now. I think that I am still correct in my assertion that a lot of people are coming over during the break time. So I still think he's the Burkhart break time boy. But this is strange. This is very strange and would be indicative of someone buying likes or buying views. Now, I guess we'll put a poll in the chat. We'll put a poll in the chat. Do you think that Nick or his fan base is buying views? Let me see. Is Nick or Nick's fan buying views / likes? Yes, Nick is. Fan is. We'll say YouTube bug. And there we go. All right, I guess I'll put a no as well, finding the YouTube bug. There we go. We'll do a poll. We'll see what people think. I think that my opinion of this is, again, I don't think that Nick would do this. I think he's like whatever's left of his brain is smart enough to not do this. But it's very likely that one of his fans is doing this specifically because they're butthurt and invested in this parasocial relationship that they have. And if Nick fails, then they fail. And that is the sad reality with a lot of these people. And a lot of Nick's biggest sweepers are just drug addicts, losers, and people that live vicariously through him. And that's why they don't have a problem with him neglecting his children. That's why they don't have a problem with him being a cuckold and stepping out on his wife and cheating on his wife and going to these swinger resorts, because they just think it's cool. They just think it's cool because their lives are just so sad. So if Nick fails, they fail in their mind, even though they're working minimum wage jobs typically, or just on benefits or something. A lot of the older crowd actually seem to watch Nick, a lot of retirees. And we're going to see some of the crazy people tonight, actually. There was a pretty wild woman who showed up in Hackamania. That's with a gun drawn, actually. Well, not quite drawn, but she had a concealed one, allegedly. And these people that are sitting around, they have to have Nick win. So when people like me, or people like Sean, or people like Aaron, even the steel toe man, when they say that Nick is a loser, they feel like they're being called a loser. And that hurts them on a personal level. So they have to make sure that Nick wins. But ironically, they may be doing the biggest damage to Nick entirely, because buying views doesn't work. Buying likes doesn't work. It's a very quick way to get your channel yeeted, and ultimately has no long-term benefit. Fatty Caddy with a 5 says, I feel sorry for Nick needing super Viagra to satisfy our broken, destroyed wife. I did not know what I would need to breed that busted old horse. I don't think she can breed anymore. Didn't she get her tubes tied or something? She had like some sort of surgery where they couldn't have sex for like 6 weeks. And that's what made Nick super horny and started hitting on Farron or any other woman coming on his chat. And that's also why that the toe got to go raw on her. And Nick talks a lot about eating Aaron's goo, but ask yourself, and if Nick ever says like, well, Aaron ate his goo, ask Nick, did he ever kiss Kayla after she sucked off the toe? That's the real question. But going back to my to Nick's little seethe rant, he's got 2 seethe rants. I mean, this has got a really funny ending, by the way.
The main reason I addressed it is because like I'll have evidence to tell YouTube. Like I have no idea what's happening with this. It's either a glitch on YouTube side, is my thinking, or there's or there's actually someone fucking around buying views or likes or whatever.
Also, I want to point out one more thing. After I made this tweet, the spikes in Nick's stream stopped. I just want to say that. Is it all a coincidence, or is it a conspiracy? Who knows? I'm just want to say, as soon as I made this tweet, Nick's problems disappeared. So maybe he should be thanking me once again.
Or maybe it is spillover from other streamers that stop in temporarily. I don't know.
That's right. He's the Burkhart break time boy.
No, I don't care. But then he goes on to tell me, this is a big opportunity to capitalize. If only I wasn't making fun of Kurt.
This is good advice. And by the way, I was commenting on the situation. I did not give him advice, but this is what's happening is, well, I mean, if my theory is correct and that people are spilling over from other channels or Burkhart's break time, if they come to Nick's stream and he prepares something in advance, like when Kurt prepares a stream. So Kurt does pretty badly on the trial days. I think he gets between like something around 500 viewers or something like that, which is not bad. Like that's actually pretty good, really. Like if you've never done a stream before, if you've never done a YouTube video before, I dare you to try and get a stream over even 100 views your first like 10 weeks or something. It's not easy, okay? But people like to like talk about views and all that all the time and things like that. So it's like a big dick contest, which is kind of funny because like Nick's doesn't work. But anyway, but yeah, if Nick prepared something like Kurt does, when Kurt prepares a video like he did with Turtle Boy, or like he did when that stream on that Sunday, he got 4,000 live viewers, 5,000 live viewers. Kurt, in my opinion, is wasting his time with his trial streams. He should prepare this extra content that people can't get elsewhere. Anyone can sit down, watch the trial, and just respond to it and react, or just read Twitter while they're doing it, which is what Nick does. That's why his streams are so bad and why he's losing viewers. It's because he's just responding to tweets on Twitter, responding to tweets or talking about Aaron while he's ignoring the trial. But if he prepared something like an hour's worth little monologue that he could talk about this trial with insightful legal insight, that could capture some of that audience that are definitely coming from these other channels. Maybe some people are like buying the likes. Maybe some people are buying views. Some of them, though, are actual people that are coming. And I know this because people told me this after I made this tweet. But Nick's actually about to say it himself, which is very funny.
Look, I don't need advice from a guy who can't get 500 viewers on how to run a stream, man.
We can't do it, chat. We can't get over 500 viewers. It's just, he got us. He got us. It doesn't need advice from me. Oh, well. First of all, like I said, objection counselor. This is like what Nick would do. Actually, I didn't offer you advice, okay? I didn't offer you advice. I commented on your situation. I didn't talk to you. You didn't respond to me.
Learn how to grow my channel. Meme copium, catch up first.
Good advice.
You got a lot of work to do.
A lot of work.
Before you have any business telling other streamers how to grow and how to win.
I mean, imagine this. A car's driving down the road. It's getting faster and faster and faster. And the big fucking brick wall is approaching. And I, as an onlooker who's on a bicycle, says, hey, that car should probably slow down. And the car driver yells out the window, what do you know about driving? You don't need to only take advice from people that are larger than you. Okay. Like the coaches are typically not ball players. Okay. But it's fair to say that Nick has been more successful me on YouTube and in streaming, but not as much as he thinks.
You're way behind, pal.
I actually ran the numbers out of curiosity, and maybe I'll put this into a little expose. If we go by video views, and I don't think I'm a strong streamer. I'm going to be honest. I've never really thought I was a great streamer or anything like that. But I do think I'm a pretty good editor. On average, if we average all of Nick's views versus all of his videos, he gets approximately 64,000 views per video. My average, if I'm including my other channels, because I actually have other channels. This one's just kind of a fun little channel where I throw random shit together. It's a schizophrenic channel. There's no cohesion of themes or topics, and that's not good on YouTube. I know that. But if I go by all of my videos and all of my views, I got an average of about 48,000 per video, and I have a lot less experience in time as well. So he's doing about 25% better than me in views. Now, I can't compete with Johnny Depp or Rittenhouse. He had 100,000 live viewers, 22,000 a day in super chats, and that's an amazing achievement that I'll probably never realistically reach. But the thing is, neither can Nick. Okay. If he knows what to do, and it's so simple, just do it again, okay? Because that's the mark of someone that actually knows how to do something versus someone that just got lucky. Now, view shaming doesn't really work on someone like me because at the end of the day, I know the only real person that I'm competing against is myself, and I'm consistently doing better every day, which is great, but this is why it makes Nick seethe so much. His only real competition is himself, and he knows that he doesn't have what it takes anymore. I'm sorry, he doesn't. I'm sure if he focused on the legal content and, preparing these things, actually talking about the law, people would like what he's dishing out, and he could probably build a proper channel from that again. But these seethe sessions at Kurt, these seethe sessions at me, or Aaron or whoever, are not helping him. He just can't seem to quit it. He is an addict after all. But let's see, the last part of this is great.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
When the advice is free, it's usually bad.
Now, that is true. With free advice, typically is bad. But Nick's advice isn't just bad. It isn't just free. It costs you hundreds of thousands of dollars. How much did Nick's advice cost Vic Mignogna? $680,000. How much did Nick's advice cost himself with Montegraph? Hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that's not even finished yet. So have fun with that, buddy.
Opinionated Granny. You keep coming over to get your opinion on the trial, but you're always talking.
All right, this part's amazing. Listen to this.
Bad. Opinionated Granny. You keep coming over to get your opinion on the trial, but you're always talking about some other shit. Right. I didn't just spend a whole bunch of time talking about exactly what was happening with Leslie's argument first, and then have one word about meme copium being dumb.
That's so funny. You can see at this moment he fucked up. The second he finishes seething about me, the second someone complains that he's doing it again, he can't even realize it. And actually, when you go down through my own post, there were several people that said this is exactly what happened. And a lot of female streamers, viewers, by the way, because women seem to be really interested in this trial. And I talked with multiple people, and they said this is exactly what happened. And when Nick was saying this in his own chat, you could people saying that. They're saying like, look, I came for you for legal content. I enjoyed the previous streams, but you spend an hour talking about Kurt. You spend an hour talking about some guy that can't get over 500 viewers. And and it puts them off. They don't want to see it. They don't want drama. They want the law. They want you to sit there and talk about the lady that her boyfriend froze to death or whatever. Okay. So even though I know this is just true, and it just showed up in his own, in real time. That's so perfect. Alyssa is too funny the way she clipped this, and that moment was too perfect. I just had to share that. All right. There's another part of this actually as well. He goes on. He can't stop seething. Oh, I forgot to like this video. I better hit that there. There we go. Let me see. The strange realizations as a successful streamer that changed. Let's see what he says. And I'm going to skip the first 4 minutes of it because I just want to hear this part.
But you find a point on it, but I've been more successful.
Oh, sorry. I was listening on 2 times speed because I'm a schizo. There we go.
It's always interesting when people are like, you need to stop doing things this way. You need to do it that way. And it's like, well, but not to put too fine of a point on it, but I've been more successful at it than you. And it's kind of like going back to the meme copium thing. Oh, Nick had an opportunity to do this. I'm like, brother, you've not been through what I've been through.
No, that is true. I have not had Aaron fuck my wife. I have not had my wife suck Aaron's dick and then kiss Kayla on the mouth. I have not been through that. I have not had my children taken away by the police because I'm a danger to them. I have not been caught with 26 grams of cocaine. So to be fair, even though my numbers are technically about 20% lower, 25% lower, I suppose, if we're talking about 45 versus 60 or whatever, I think I'll take it. You know, some things in life are more important, and I'll take the lower views if it means that I don't have my wife smell like the toe forever, because that's a scent that just doesn't wash off.
And you've not had the level of success that I've had on YouTube, and you still don't. So like, yeah. You haven't given me any reason to take your advice.
I mean, you just need to go back and say, like, you don't need to be a meth addict to say that meth is bad, okay? Now, there is some truth to this, that like a random person, you shouldn't take advice from a random person. And I can understand that. But the thing is, I do know a little bit about the game, and I do know a little bit about the streaming. I'm not as successful as Nick at streaming. That's true. Okay, that's fine. But, you know, my best stream was pretty good. I had like 2,200 as my all-time high. I know that's kind of what Nick gets on average at the moment, but that's fine. And I think I earned like $3,500 was our highest earning stream. Of course, that was fundraising for the Cringe Van project, which was a lot of fun. So it's not like I don't know what I'm doing, okay? And the problem is, though, that Nick doesn't know what he's doing either, because he can't get those numbers back. He used to know. He used to be good. He got a bit lucky, but let's see him get 100,000 again. Let's see the $22,000 a day in super chats again, Nick. If it's so easy, just do it. If it's so easy, just don't lose streams, viewers after day after day after day.
Which is fine. You can give unsolicited advice to anybody. That's what makes it cool. Like, it's unsolicited.
I didn't actually give him advice. I just commented on Twitter, and he saw about it. He saw my Twitter post, didn't respond to the tweet, and then just seethed and ruminated on it. So he had to tell his chat about it, which caused more people to leave, because his chat doesn't want to hear about me either. Okay.
But this notion that, like, you need to stop responding to people on Twitter. It's like, but that's
good advice.
To respond to people on Twitter. I don't care if they have 12 followers or 12 million. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just talking to a person. It's just a person on the other side.
He also likes doing cocaine, and he should stop doing that. Now, allegedly, he has stopped. But, you know, if there wasn't daddy government to save his life, and that's what happened. Like, I don't like the government, okay? I want the government to get out, don't step on me. I can understand that. But make no mistake, without the government stepping in, taking away Nick's toys, and telling him to be a good boy for 5 years, he would most likely be dead by now, because that's the path of self-destruction he had put himself on.
I talk to people everywhere I go. Don't ever get stuck in an elevator with me.
That's also good advice. I mean, as long as if you're a woman or a child, yeah, don't get stuck in an elevator with Nick. If you're a man, you probably will be okay. I mean, he doesn't even have any guns, so you don't have to worry about that. You just have to worry about his raccoon knives.
I will bore the shit out of you with dad jokes. But in the meanwhile, you know, we're going to be here telling jokes, watching trials, having a good time. And that's all that matters to me. Like, is streaming fun?
I mean, I'm having fun. Are you having fun, chat? Is Nick having fun? Does this look like a man who's having fun? I don't think so.
And yes, this job, you should measure like how much fun you're having, because it's when you get to a place where you're not enjoying what you're doing. But
so Nick kind of, again, lets the cat out of the bag here. He's always hated streaming. He's always, well, no, that's not true. He didn't always hate streaming. Streaming used to be a fun little distraction that became a very profitable job for him and a way out from his boring dead-end job as a small law firm in central Minnesota. Something that he absolutely hates is working, so this was like a perfect escape. But then somewhere along the line, the streaming became a job. And that's when Nick went off the rails. That's when he wanted to escape from the trial streams and, get the hand jobs in the Twin Cities or whatever. And that's why he had to escape from the streams where he was making thousands of dollars a day by drinking whiskey and escaping into the recesses of his own Denny's riddled mind or whatever. And that's a bad place to be. When your fun project becomes a job, it can take a joy out of it for a lot of people. That's why it's called work, though. It's not supposed to be fun.
You're in front of thousands of people. You don't get to have like a breakdown the same way. Most people break down with dignity in private, away from everything else. Like they go to work and then they go home and they look at that shotgun or whatever. Don't eat the.
Ooh, I think I've been dark pretty quick. Oh dear. I mean, again, it's a good thing the government took away his guns. Clearly, he's not safe to be around them.
Shotgun guys. But when your job is streaming, like, and you're out in front of everybody, you don't, you might try and curate some sort of image. It's, I would suggest it's not as worth it as it seems.
Millions of dollars in super chat isn't worth it, chat. Okay, it's just not worth it. Okay, if you can't just sit there for 8 hours a day while other lawyers talk about the law and you can drink whiskey, it's just not worth it sometimes.
What you need to do is take a break.
Yeah,
which sucks because you feel like you can't after a while. When you stream every day, you start to go, but if I take a break, then my, I'll lose engagement and the algorithm won't see me and blah, 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 blah.
Yep. All right. I think that's all we need. Citizen M, who says, now that Aaron confessed and having said it, what do you think about Aaron revealing he could live without his 3 children, but not without April? Well, I don't understand the revelation here that Aaron is a bad person. Have I ever said he's a good person? I've said he's the shiniest turd in the bowl. No. Like, this is the weird thing about Hackamania. People literally flew to Vegas so that they could confirm what they already knew, that Aaron was a cuck. Congratulations. Aaron's a bad dude. What do you want from me? Although I will say one thing about Citizen M is that even though you and I disagree on certain things in regards to Melton, I do appreciate that you were consistent in your defense, right? When Nick came out and tried to trick me into saying, like, how could you make such an awful joke about me? And then Nick confused you for me. You were consistent in saying that, like, you weren't okay with either of us being called that. So, you know what? If only Nick was smart enough to tell the difference. But thank you for the 5. I much appreciate that. Alrighty. Let us see. Where are we going to next? All right. So we're working through the week. This is the few days before Hackamania begins. We're going to go through Hackamania, then we get to the return. That's kind of how it's going to go. Although I probably should mention a couple other things. Maybe we'll do it later. We'll do it after this part. So let's see. Karen Read case is about swinging and sex parties. So good logic. Joe, the most loyal of the sweepers, he has decided to stream with Nick for, to give his friend a bit of attention. And, since Branca left already, Branca went off to greener pastures, but Joe shows up, and this is about 7 minutes. We'll go through this a bit quicker. Let's see about that.
She seems to be outraged that he's not home, that he's not responding, not thinking that he's not.
He's banging some other chick.
Yeah, maybe, whatever.
But she said, like, she yelled that in one of the messages.
I heard him scream pervert. I didn't hear him scream.
So pervert was there when, like, your kids are here alone, was on the text message. Then she has a voicemail that says, I'm here with your kids, you pervert. And then the next voicemail, she's like, I'm here with your kids and you're effing some other woman. It's like, yeah, I think everybody at that house was. It's my guess.
Joe looks very uncomfortable. I don't think we need to watch the whole 7 minutes, but Nick just can't make everything. He can't stop making everything about swings and parties. And something really happened. Like, you're about to see something really sad here, chat. Okay. This is something that was sent to me in an email. I don't think anyone else really talked about it, but this is the saddest moment. I actually didn't have something loaded up I need to get. So just let me get me quick little thing. Let me see. What was it called? All right. This is so sad because Joe has been such a loyal friend to Nick, and let's see what happens. So the context of this is that Nick has been streaming for 4 hours and 52 minutes. The stream is going to go for another 3 hours, basically, but Nick has to drop out. He has to leave for about an hour to go do errands, or I think he has to go get a drug test or something. But let's see what happens in this stream. This is honestly made me a little bit sad.
I am going to have to step away in a minute. I have to go pick up my travel voucher from my probation officer.
Oops.
They close at 3:30, so I actually have to like go before the stream's over, which sucks.
If we could, we'll call a different witness. Okay. We'll call.
Oh, good job.
So kick him over to me when you're done.
Kevin O'Hara, please.
Well, I'm going to keep the stream running.
Oh, okay.
You're welcome to stay.
What are we doing?
I can actually.
That is so sad. So Nick is going to be leaving his computer alone, just watching the trial go. And Joe's like, "Look, Nick, I've had your back. I've had your back this entire time. Everyone else betrayed you." And Joe's just like, "Look, you know, you've got 1,000 people." And for context in this time as well, Joe had about, I think he's like averaging about 500 people per. The Karen Read trials was about 500 lives, more or less. I think it peaked up a bit after Nick left, but we'll talk about that soon. So Joe's like, "Look, Nick, you're gonna go drive. You're gonna be gone an hour. Just give your loyal boy a crumb. Just give me a little stream rate, okay? I've been there for you the entire time. I started my channel as the pre-show to Rekieta. Now can I just get a piece? Can I just get a taste? Can I just get a taste, Nick?" And he's like, "You want something from me? No, I'm going to keep this stream going. You can stay here and work for me for free." And no, Joe looks like he's going to cry.
I can throw in my headphones.
Like Joe deserves better than this. Like Joe and I have had our differences. But, you know, after Jeff died, he said some very nice things about me. And I've never hated Joe. I think he puts on a good show for his audience. I think he's very consistent. He's a very hard worker. Obviously, I disagree with him on some points, but he deserves better than this. He's the one. Just give the man a stream rate, okay? You can start your stream when you get back, okay? A lot of people do that. Joe, in fact, does like morning and afternoon streams. At least he did. He's quit the Karen Read trial. But he's just like, "Can I just get a crumb?" But no. This is what the loyalty to the Baldo gets you. Nothing.
Try and contribute as I go, but I can't.
Look at Joe. Like the thing that this reminds me of, I get my one Simpsons reference in here. This is what's happening. This is what's happening to. Oh wait, no, hold on. Where's the best clip? This one. All right, here it is. This is what's happening to Joe in real time. You can actually see the moment his heart breaks.
It's because nobody else would. Watch this, Lise. You can actually pinpoint the second when his heart rips in half. And now.
This is what's happening to Joe in real time. Listen to this again. Let's listen to this again.
Yeah, I can throw in my headphones and keep the stream running.
Oh, okay.
You're welcome to stay.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Suffering out there.
What are we doing?
I can actually.
What are we? Gee, listen to him say that. What are we doing? It's like, what am I doing here? What am I doing here?
You're welcome to stay.
What are we doing?
I can actually. I can throw in my headphones and try and contribute as I go, but I can't. I can't be on camera.
Brutal. It's absolutely brutal.
That's the questionable audio.
I tried to do it through my car audio the other day, and StreamYard does not like car audio at all. So it was like I was getting a lot of feedback. That was with you and Bronco.
Oh no.
When you leave, I am going to tell your audience I'm leaving and they should join me. That's what I'm going to do.
Joe does the sneaky little snake move. It is the year of the snake, actually. He's like, as soon as you leave, I'm going to tell your audience to come join me. That's a funny move. That's a good joke from Joe.
I mean, you can tell him that.
Hey, Extreme, I haven't seen you in a while. How's it going, man?
Everybody should go subscribe to Good Logic. Hey, I told him I'm going to be gone Thursday and Friday because I'm going to be at Hackamania.
All right, let's skip forward to when Joe leaves the stream. He just has a quiet little Irish exit sort of thing. So Nick is gone. He's just got his emoji, and Joe's like, he gives a little smile. It looks like he's tearing. Like, hold on, we got to do the old zoom. Okay, what is it? The Warski zoom. We got to enhance this. Hold on a second. Look at his. Look at him. Look at this face. You can see he's about to fucking cry. Oh well, poor Joe. He deserves better than this. Like I said, and he does. Actually, there's a happy ending to this. So if you're feeling a little bit sad, don't. There's actually a happy ending. I think he dips out just after this second. Oh, they fixed the white balance. That's nice. Joe's thinking about it. He's like, do I just sit here and sweep for an hour? Right, I'm just going to skip forward. Just sit.
Go back to my.
There we go. Here it is.
I'm going to step away and open my own, go back to my own feed because this way I can pause if I need to pause and stuff like that. If I'm so
yeah, I gotta pause the stream. I can't just.
So I am going to just open up my own feed now, and yeah,
wow.
And I'll catch Nick probably tomorrow, next day. Those are your Nick's chat.
His voice is breaking. Listen to this.
Probably tomorrow, next day. Those are your Nick's chat. Good to see you. Godspeed.
Godspeed. Oh, brutal. Brutal. And then he is gone 5 seconds later. He's gone. There you go. The betrayal. This is what it costs you. Now, like I said, there was a happy ending to this, although his heart was broken. So this was Nick on day 10. After... Wait, have we got the... All right. So this is what a typical day for Joe looked like when Nick was streaming. So Joe would peak out at about, like just under 600 viewers, which is pretty good. Although it's worse than his regular streams. Like he's got a pretty consistent stream now. Like he basically took a lot of Nick's old audience. So his regular streams are like about 1,200 people, which is great. So good for him. Now with Nick around, he's not earning a lot and his viewer count is low. But when Nick went to Hackamania, he did pop over 1,000 views. So we got a W for Joe in the chat. He got more super chats than Nick was getting. So Joe finally got a piece of the action. Unfortunately, he's now decided to quit Karen Read, which is probably a good financial move. It's not kind of worth it to compete against these other people. It's stuff like Uncivil, like do these like Turtle Boy interviews and things like that. That's where the real content is coming from. But Joe, I believe, has moved on to the Diddy case. So he's like on the ground for Diddy, which is pretty entertaining, honestly. I think they can't have cameras in the courtroom because it's like federal or something. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to pretend to be. Unless I'm drinking, then I'm pretending to be a lawyer. But yeah, it looks like Joe's moving on to a more greener pastures like Branca did with the other trial. I think Branca still shows up when he's got free time. But yeah. All right. So here's how the trials are going so far in comparison. We got a little bit of a look. Now this is very... These graphs are not great because Emily DeBaker did not stream on day 4, which kind of skews this a little bit. And it's kind of hard to see. Nick is the blue line down here. He's the old blue chew down the bottom here. So this is compared to Andrea Burkhart, who's getting, look at this, upwards of 100,000 views a stream. That's nice. Actually, we'll get a zoom in. We'll remove Burkhart from the actual case. You can see here that Nick, he started off strong with about 50,000 views. This is including live and replay views. Dips down, although most people did dip down, honestly. But you can see he's moving sideways. He's not really gaining anything. He's not really losing anything. And he did get a bit of a return peak on Monday. But you can see other people are doing better and actually increasing it, particularly Burkhart. She's doing great, and she's going from strength to strength to strength with thousands thousands of views. Now, the funny thing here is with day 12 and 13, this is what we're coming up to. That's Hackamania. Apparently, and I'm not invested in this trial, so I actually don't know what's happening in it. But those are apparently really banger days. So this is what you could be making. This is, which one was this? Sorry. This is Burkhardt. So on day 11, she made about $567 in super chats. That doesn't include replay watches and advertisement and other things. Like a lot of people have like, like a Ko-Fi link or a Patreon or something. This is just raw super chats. This is raw super chats. Day 12, $745. That's some good shit. Really good shit. Actually, I shouldn't have got rid of this thing. I got to have the Nick comparison. Although I think I have another one. Let's see this one. All right, there we go. Got what I needed. If we compare this to, I didn't have it. I thought I had. Oh wait, here it is. Here it is. Emily DeBaker. Let's see what Emily DeBaker's doing. Day 11, $2,250, $1,400, $1,500. How much is Nick making on his super chats? He's making about $40. He's making about $40. Now, this does not include the super tips. Allegedly, he's getting somewhere between $50 to $200 a day from it. I don't know. I'm going to wait until I see some numbers brought up from that. But he's out there suffering. He's out there suffering. Sorry. Fatty Catty's with it too. Says, Racket shows Joe who the real Joe was. Yes, I had to editorialize that a little bit. Okay. Now, what was this link that I had open? I think it was... let's see, was it this one? Or was it, I was looking at this one. Yeah, so Nick has been he's been hovering around 2,000 live views. He might be streaming right now, actually. So maybe he'll hit 2,000 tonight, we'll see. But he was dipping under till about 1,900. That seems to be where he's falling. Of course, now that Joe has stopped streaming, the Karen Read trial, the Joe's 500 odd people are going to Nick. So he had a bit of a boost on Monday. Will that hold out? We don't know. But what he's not getting, there we go. We got it. We got the Kurt. This is Kurt's interview with Karen Read, Turtle Boy, $5,277. This is what happens when you put in effort. Okay. Like if you take my advice, I mean, not that Kurt took my advice, but my advice was to prepare something that he could read in the Burkhardt break time segments, and then he can actually gain some more stream viewers. So when Kurt applies himself, because like I said, I think the trial watching is probably he should probably move on from that and just do this stuff because this is much more successful. 5,000. This is higher. I mean, Kurt's stream with 4,000 people was already higher than Nick's biggest stream of the year, which was his return stream. So Nick is just, but I mean, what do I know, right? I mean, I can't even get 500 live viewers on a stream. Very embarrassing. So don't listen to my advice. Don't listen to me at all. That brings us to Ramen Gate. Okay, so what is this? I got a notification. Yeah, Kurt grows. Where we at? All right, let me see. So something weird happened in the build up before Hackamania, which is what we're coming up to now. It says, here's the timeline with the so-called woke up at 4 a.m. ramen bullshit. All the timestamps. So Tuesday, 11:48 p.m., Patrick Melton begins streaming. Tuesday at 11:56, Rekieta said he wasn't doing a night show because he was hanging out with a lady in the evening. He then proceeds to spend all night talking in Melton's chat. Now, of course, we know that Kayla's already in the Delta Quadrant. She's far away in the final frontier. So while she's zonked out on her CBD gummies, but she's allowed to take them. I believe actually Nick is allowed to use weed because he's got a card for it, but he doesn't like it. But Kayla loves the weed. She loves to toke. In fact, she did say very strangely on one of the streams where she was first announced that she can't wait to do drugs with her kids. She literally said this, like when her kid, she's like, I can't wait to do, or she said like, I want to do drugs with when my kids do drugs, I hope they do it with me. She said this about them. And then she's like, when they're 18. Well, she already achieved that early. So I guess she's mother of the year or something. Who knows? Who knows? This was in regards to weed, by the way. I'm not even joking. You can look up the clip. But obviously Nick is not spending time with Kayla. I mean, maybe he's spending time with her body, but her mind's far away on Deep Space Nine. Okay. She's in Quarks. She's playing Dabo. She's chatting and having discussions with Jadzia Dax or whatever. She's having all the good times. Okay, she's getting, what is that guy's name? Garrick, Garrick, the like Kardashian, the Kardashian clothes merchant or whatever, that guy. And Nick is just spending his time in Melton's chat because he's just addicted to Aaron. He can't quit Aaron. So let's see, look at the timeline. Wednesday, 3 a.m. Final message from Nick in Melton's chat. So he spent 3 hours after saying he was spending, well, actually, that'd be 4 hours, wouldn't it? 4 hours watching Melton's stream when he was allegedly hanging out with his lady friend, who was also used to be Aaron's lady friend. At 3:54 a.m., Nick replies with an archive link to the tweet about his anniversary of his arrest. So he's tweeting. He's tweeting at 4 a.m. Then it says the next morning, Nick Rekieta claims Kayla woke him up at this time to make ramen. Now this is kind of a funny story, and the memes for it are pretty good. Okay, now I'm not sure how we infer this, and I'm kind of curious about the chat. Do you think that Kayla woke up Nick to make ramen for her because she can't even cook ramen, or she made the ramen and brought it to Nick and woke him up? At 4:15 a.m., Nick was in the comment section of Stalin 19. Stalin 19 is a clipper like Alyssa, but he's Nick can't watch Alyssa clips anymore because he gets too butthurt. He was commenting on a clip of Aaron to call him a bad interviewer, approximately time based on the post. And at 8:30 a.m., Nick blames Kayla for his stream's late start. So it's all that bitch's fault. I don't like, what does he mean by this? Like, now Nick actually tried to try and explain the situation about the making ramen at 4 a.m. He said that, like, if you don't know why your wife would wake you up to have ramen at 4 a.m., you've clearly you're an incel, right? So he's like, well, he's definitely having sex, right? He's having sex until 4 a.m. in the morning, and then he's waking up for post-ramen sex. I don't think so. I think what happened here, my opinion, is that Kayla doesn't even know how to boil water, okay? She went up to the microwave, she said, computer, ramen, hot, and nothing happened, okay? It didn't make that sound. It didn't make the replicator sound. So then she went up and said it to Nick, and he made it for her. That's my headcanon. Whether it's true or not, whether she was like on a drug binge, I don't know. That's what I think happened. I think that the replicator was broken, so Nick had to do it manually. So Nick, why are you making ramen at 4 a.m.? Because I've lost control of my life. So that's in the days leading up to the events of Hackamania, which gets pretty silly. Here we've reached Hackamania. Okay, Scarebro with, how's it going, mate? He says, computer, activate program Hito 2, run seam, Mandingo party, remove husband from corner. It's pretty good. I feel like that could be a good like AI thing to do. So, Hackamania. To understand what Hackamania is, and this is pretty wild, okay? This is really, really crazy. But people, and I use the term people loosely, decided that Aaron is so interesting that they have to fly from countries like New Zealand, they have to fly from Minnesota, they all have to get together in Vegas so that they can talk about Aaron for 4 days straight, okay? The internet talking about Aaron is just too boring. They need that live content. They need to laugh and yuck it up and act with all their friends in Vegas while they allegedly, do drugs and swap wives or whatever. Now, you might be asking, what is this fridge? This fridge is the fridge that Aaron bought Kayla, okay? Now, when Nick and Aaron and Kayla and April were all swapping each other's fluids and juices and vows and secrets and everything, okay? When they were cuckolding each other, Aaron fell in love with Kayla. And because she can't cook ramen, and that's why she needs Nick to do it for her, Aaron decided that Kayla could use a fridge because then she could buy the food or get the food that Nick makes, put it in the fridge, and then she doesn't have to leave the bedroom. She doesn't have to go downstairs to go get her juicy snacks, right? The snack drawer. So this is the snack fridge that Aaron bought Kayla, and I believe this is also the fridge that an open baggie of cocaine was, or an open bullet of cocaine or whatever, was located. When Nick says that like the cocaine was always under lock and key, there's no way his kids could get it. But the actual reality is that when the cops arrived, there was cocaine sitting on top of the fridge. This is what they're talking about. Nick decided it was a good idea to give this fridge to Melton and the crew at the Aaron's Children Appreciation Club. And this, I don't understand this. Can somebody please explain this to me? This is a monument. This is evidence that your wife fucked Aaron Eamholt and got covered in the toe goo. The toe goo. Okay. This is literally physical evidence of Nick being a cuckold. And they decided that it would be really funny to just display it on screen. But Nick is obviously a glutton for punishment. He loves the humiliation. So he would sit there right next to the fridge that his ex-boyfriend bought his wife. So while he was fucking her, he could sit there and look at every time he sees it, everything reminds me of her. Okay, everything reminds me of her. This is that fridge. I don't know. Why do you do this? Excumer says, he says N minus 70% plus 600% smug. I don't know what this means. Is it science? I don't get it. And Garrett Pace said Kayla wanted ramen at 4 a.m. because she couldn't have 5 guys. That's very funny. That is very funny. Thank you much for the members. All right. So let's get into Hackamania. Now here you can see the crew from Hackamania. You see Nick is over there in the corner where he belongs, where he usually is. I mean, I think he just sat there naturally, right? But you can see that this panel is arranged from thinnest to fattest. And I guess they I'm sorry, but like these two guys. All right, Nick is getting chunkier, but he's still fairly thin. This guy's thin. Moody is fat. Tukey is fat. Melton is fat. And these guys spent approximately, I don't know, 5 hours talking about Aaron's body. A bunch of fat guys got together and talked about Aaron's dad bod. This is literally the content. People literally think that this is worth paying to go see. People talk about Aaron. Also, the mask is kind of embarrassing. I'm sorry. This didn't work for like this reminds me of like when Gator, tell him Gator. He showed up to was it the Warski Tonga fight, and he had the luchador mask, but you can see his chin is spilling out from his fat neck. So these fat people decided to get together and laugh at this man. And you should laugh at Nick. I'm sorry, you should laugh at Aaron. Sorry, they're interchangeable in my mind sometimes. But this is the point of view. That's your Kayla Rekieta. Okay. So the big reveal, we got him, boys. The big mission accomplished of Hackamania was that Nick brought the DMs. He decided to share all of the DMs. Well, no, that's actually a lie. He decided to share selectively clipped and cropped images where Aaron is being cringe and saying some pretty nasty stuff, if we're being honest. I don't know why he didn't feel bold enough to release all the text. What is he hiding? I don't know. But one of them was this picture where Aaron is looking over from a bed. My question is, who took this photo? Was it Nick who took this photo? Was it Kayla? Was it April? I don't know. But this is what you see every morning during this period of time. All right, so let's take a look at what they actually said. So here's the alleged select excerpts from texts of Aaron to Nick Rekieta. They were featured at Hackamania on the latest edition of Nightwave. Oh, that's right, Merch covered this as well. I'm not sure which ones have not been posted yet, so let's take a look. This was their kill shot. This was the kill shot that they used to. This is the clip that destroyed Aaron's career. So Aaron messages Nick. He says, "If those kids had to go and I still had April, I could make it. If April was gone and the kids were here, I don't know, man. I know angels don't fall to earth. I know what I have." So they thought that this was like this amazing, like, oh my goodness, Aaron is the worst person ever. And this is pretty bad. Like choosing your side piece or whatever over your kids, that's a bad thing. Aaron, naughty boy, okay? Now, this was a time when they were all drunk and high out of their minds, so maybe that affected their situations. I don't know. I think Aaron did a bad thing here, okay? People want me to say Aaron bad. There you go. But they thought that this would mean anything to people because the only people that care about this is their crew. I think Steel Toes back today with the same numbers he always gets literally made no fucking difference. But they thought that this was such a kill shot that they had to read it first because if they read it at the end, people would be too sad. They wouldn't have fun. Realistically, nobody gives a shit. Everybody knew Aaron was bad. Everyone knew Aaron was a cuck. There was no surprises here. So that's what they led with. Then they go into these ones. So Aaron says, as far as any hesitation with April, I wish I could think of some ahead of time. What her and I have is incredible physically and emotionally, and that is only accentuated here. I know she is very into you, and I love that. So he's a cuck. Oh my goodness, surprise. Chat, did you think Aaron was a cuck, or is this a shocking revelation? If you think it was always a cuck, press 1. If this is a shocking revelation that you can only get at Hackamania, press 2. in the chat. And be sure to like the stream. I'll stop asking after we reach a certain... Wait, how much do we have? Come on, chat. We need to get to 400 likes. When we get to 400 likes, then YouTube will send my stream out there and everyone will know that Nick is a cuck, as well as Aaron. Because that's the thing, is every time they... And I said this earlier in the stream. Every time they make Aaron look worse, it just makes Nick look worse. Because Aaron is this terrible guy, yada, yada, yada. But he was good enough for Kayla. It was good enough for the father of Nick's children. So I don't see what he's trying to accomplish. But anyway, we'll keep reading it, let's say. I know she is very into you, and I love that. I really had to bring her out of her shell to feel free in bed talking about you. I understand that I find it easy. December 13th, I get a vibe with you that you are incredibly respectful as a lover. No, he is not. Because Nick bragged about how they kept the sheets from when he was fucking April for 3 hours. Now, and spoiler alert, fucking someone for 3 hours isn't a good thing. That means that you're so desensitized, you're so coked out that you can't feel your dick, and you're just it's just skin rubbing on skin for 3 hours is not a good thing. Okay, if you're bleeding, you're doing it wrong. That's just the way it is. But Nick thought this was such a monumental an achievement, he had to share it with the world. If you share the details of your private sexual encounters, like your bloody bed sheets that you kept as a trophy, that is not respectful. That is embarrassing. That is cringe. Stop it. Get some help. Let's see. I know she's in good hands with you and you treat her well. Then when I come into your home after not seeing her all fucking day and missing my queen, I'm passed over, ignored, and abandoned. So you two can go to the bathroom. And I'm not needed. If I'm not needed, let me know. I have 3 kids and a barely burning career at this point. I have things that depend on me. So Nick said that Aaron was invited to go to the bathroom. And he added some extra context on the stage where they said they were all naked. They're all naked and doing coke. And there's no... the kids never had any idea about any of this. Like, look, kids burst into your room and complain like, oh, she's hitting me. She's, that sort of stuff all the time. And you're just sitting there naked. What if there's an emergency? What if they actually try to make SpaghettiOs without Aaron around to help them, and they drop the SpaghettiOs and start a fire in the kitchen? Do you put your clothes back in and go help your kids, or do you just run out there naked with your mistress while you're doing coke? This is what they're doing. They're just sitting in their bathroom all day, naked. And I guess Sonny's in the corner because Sonny was locked up in that dungeon of a bathroom as well. So Sonny had to watch all of this. So can we get some save Sonny's in the chat, or SS for short, I suppose? Oh no, my tab's crashed. All right, we'll have to restore this tab. Let's see if this works. There we go. It's good. Changes back to all chat. There we go. All right, we're good. We're good. Everything's good. So that's what they were doing here. Terrible, terrible day. December 26th, which I believe is 2 days after Aaron's birthday. I'm trying to reconcile the guy who shows... What? I'm trying to reconcile the guy who shows tit pics to strangers, does a loud Greek accent at a steakhouse, and can generally hold court in any social situation. So that's Aaron. He's referring to himself. To the guy whose world is vibrating out of control over butterflies he has for an incredible woman. This is his love for Kayla, I suppose, or April. How could someone so small shake me to my core like this? There is one other woman who has ever done this to me, and she's done the same to you. Oh, there you go. So, so beautiful. So stunning and brave. Now, I believe they also had a letter. Oh, sorry, I didn't want to show that yet. Didn't want to show that yet. Where is this? Where is this thing? I got this here somewhere. Oh, here it is. So included in this was like a ring. I believe it was April's engagement ring, and a letter. And there was this excerpt that they decided to proudly show on stage, which says, "I loved another woman effortlessly, and I did so in front of you. What's worse is that I didn't have the balls to just say so." So he's literally in this message saying, "Look, April, come back to me, baby. I was fucking Kayla, Nick Rekieta's wife, in front of you, and I didn't even care. Please come back." Nick decided that this was his 500 IQ play, was to just expose to the world that he is also a cuck. Now, we knew this. This is not a prize revelation, but it is really, really strange. It's funny and weird and gross. Yes, it is. All right, so there was one thing that was kind of funny in Hackamania. Oh, there's some more. Oh, there's some more text. We'll go through these as well. Let's see. Law for this message. Rekieta admits that they would be in the bathroom where they did coke together naked. Okay, he says, maybe we can skip past these. We don't have to see them, actually. We'll read the evidence. Okay, this is their big kill shot, that Aaron ate the goo. So we'll see that. Oh, this is a shit quality. I'll just summarize it for you because I don't actually feel like reading this. Basically, the story is the same story that that Nick has been telling the entire time, that Nick came on April's chest, and then Aaron went to lick it up. Now, this is what Nick has been saying the entire time, and the messages, the evidence was just text with April. Now, he could have. Did this happen? Probably. It probably did happen. I don't disbelieve the story, even though it is Nick, and Nick is always lying if his mouth is moving. But it doesn't surprise me if it's true. It doesn't concern me if this is true, because we already knew that Aaron was a cuck. But like I said, if Aaron ate your goo, you absolutely ate his, because like I said, did Aaron ever get sucked off by Kayla? And afterwards, did you ever kiss Kayla on the mouth? Then yes, you've tasted Aaron's secret recipe. Okay. You're a cuck. He's a cuck. They're all cucks down there. Okay. So that here it is. Here's the evidence. Haha, I'm smiling a broad smile. I can still see my sexy body splayed out on your bed, my chest covered in your cum, going down between my pretty tits. Okay. I can see him climb on top of me, not to fuck me, but to lick me clean. Maybe I wanted to save that for later. Ha ha ha. But you taste like heaven. I couldn't blame him. Yes, it's Cucktails. We got to play the song. Sorry, I wasn't prepared for this, but wait, do I have Alyssa's Clips channel still up there? Hold on. Maybe it'll just come up. Should be careful. I don't want to. Oh, here it is. This is the theme song for this moment.
Noses stuffed with crack cocaine here in Cuckburg. Booze and pills to numb the brain in the cover. Let's keep it a mystery, ba-ba-ba, and rewrite history. Cocktails.
Woo! That's a great song. I'm downloading this clip after this stream. I'm gonna make that my official theme song. That is too good. All right, so Hackamania. It wasn't just talking about Aaron. They had fun there too. They went over there. They did. Here you have Nick Rekieta singing in front of an empty orchestra. Well, an empty audience. This is how you should live life. You should sing like nobody's listening. You should dance like nobody's watching. And you can see here karaoke night in front of a massive crowd at Hackamania. Oh my goodness. I mean, do you think he sung the Mandy song? That's my question. Let me see. Oh, Scarebro with another 5. He says Nick is careful to not admit Aaron Kayla. Yes, I noticed that. He refuses to admit that. It is the one thing that he knows that you cannot recover from, because there's just no way to recover from being a cuckold. Doesn't matter if you make $1 million in super chats and your wife gets cucked. You're not a millionaire. You're a cuckold. He's always spoken about infidelity coming from his end with April. Some promises to keep April out of drama. Well, he failed at that spectacularly. And Scarecrow says, DM'd the greater context for Aaron Sweet. All right, I'll take a look at this. Let's have a look. I'm hesitant to bring up, or what is this? All right, let's take a look at what Scarecrow sent us through before we get back to... Oh, yes, actually, we're going to cover that a bit later on, I think. Thank you. I'm going to cover that when we get back out of the den of iniquity. All right, but they also had fun down there, okay? They had fun, okay? You can see they enjoying some heckin' wholesome bingo with all the old people. This is such a fun place. Like, Nick's got such new fun friends. You can see Tukey is enjoying some bingo. And this is the average Melton and Joy, I suppose. This is the class of the caliber of attendees that go to these events, I suppose. And we're going to take a look at the one right here, I think. Wait, that's not it. This one. Not that one, sorry. Wait, shit. Where is that crazy woman? I know I've got that somewhere. Here it is. All right. So this is... I have often wondered what is the kind of person that finds 10 hours a day of talking about steel toe entertaining. Well, today we have our answer. This is the average, I guess, Melton enjoyer. Let's take a listen at this. This is great. If it loads.
Well, I'd like to finish my food, but it's kind of hard to with a woman who looks like she's about to hit me the entire time.
Unhinged women carrying guns. This is the average Melton enjoyer. Karen, like skiing seals.
See what? Say that again? don't think you actually. Did you say you carry and conceal? You're willing to go to jail for the rest of your life? I don't want people to know. So now you're threatening to murder me.
Look, what are you gonna do? Shoot me? Says shoot should like if this is just absolutely crazy. I believe this woman was escorted away from the premises, so she lost her day pass to the exclusive Aaron cuckold content. How very sad for her.
Wild. You're very unstable.
Don't fuck crazy, bitch.
This is good advice too.
Okay, I wasn't planning on it.
You have been for the last year.
I haven't done shit in the last year.
I feel threatened that defending myself is legal.
Is this one of those crystals that glows when you and your friend get together? Is this like the Craigslist crystal that starts glowing when you and your bro, J.O.? I feel like that's one of those crystals.
Okay. I'm sorry you feel threatened. Okay.
Keep building.
I will.
Take it to Ian Hawk. Take it to the Church of McGurk. Take it to your friends from Fearless. Take it. I don't give a shit.
I didn't know what it was. All right. You know, I have no idea what you're glad you don't. I'm just waiting to see what the woman who just threatened to murder me is going to do next.
It's a calming crystal. I don't think it's working. I think she needs to recharge it. So this was apparently, let's see, this is alleged Dappleverse superfan Denthead Michaela threatens an unknown person at Hackamania that she's carrying a firearm, skirting dangerously close to NRS 202320, brandishing a weapon. Nice work, Nick. You're rubbing shoulders at a convention with someone busted with $50,000 worth of cocaine, surrounded by out-of-state guests, possibly carrying concealed weapons. So it looks like they had a great time down there. They enjoy bingo, they enjoy Aaron cum stories, and they enjoy being completely fucking insane. So there you go. That was probably the biggest bang that I saw. Although one thing that kind of makes me curious about the entire event is like they were doing this event in front of like this big hall, right? Where they were all on their big panel. Where's the panel gone? Here it is. I think there was like a bar behind them, right? There's like a bar where you could go get drinks at the Sand Palace or whatever this place. I don't know what it's called. I've never been to Vegas. So like there's this guy. He's just trying to do his 9 to 5. He's just trying to bartend for a bunch of weirdos. And then they start saying, let's talk about Aaron's cum today. What was that? What was going through that man's head? To be a fly on the wall and just talk with that guy in the break room when these weirdos show up, increasingly fatter weirdos show up, and then start talking about Aaron's dad bod because he does a little bit of boxing on the side or something. I don't know. I thought it was very crazy. I thought it was crazy. All right. So at least they had fun at bingo night. That was nice of them. Oh, wait. Sorry. I'll keep that open for a second. Now, Nick said that he was offered drugs, and he said that he was offered somebody's wife. And the caliber of the women at the event seemed to be pretty much like this woman, or I guess this old granny back here. And it kind of reminded me of this clip from The Boys that I thought I might show you.
And these women, they're like fine wine, okay? The older they get, the more delicious, but the drier.
There you go. That's what you can expect. That's what you can expect from the Melton wife swap experience. They're delicious. They're like a fine wine. They just get better with age, but they do get drier. So have fun with that, Nick. Have fun. He says he didn't... we go into now the Scarebro things. He says, Nick, after the Hackamania event, he says, I'm proud to say I went to Vegas and didn't steal anyone's wife, drink, or do any drugs at all, despite being offered all these things. And this was an amazing clip that... Perfect comedic timing there. Very good. I much enjoyed that one, Scarebro. But Nick is the best man ever. He looks after his kids. Alrighty. So you'd think that Nick would have got all of the anger out of his system from doing karaoke, but no sooner than he leaves Hackamania, he returns home, his pilgrimage to return to the Baldo bunker and just get there and see his lovely wife. Who doesn't smell like the toe. But no, he goes on another Twitter seed session, which is gets a bit crazy. So we'll go through this. Let's see. He tries to furthermore tell people how Aaron is the worst piece of shit ever invented, in life. Let's see what he says. Aaron didn't tell the truth about my cocaine possession either. He told the cops I had a laptop-sized pile of cocaine. That's unreal. Here's the thing, though. The cops found 26 grams. I'm going to assume that Nick did not go get the 26 grams and then just not touch them before the cops arrived. So there is the question of how much was the original amount. But you don't want to make those boring trips back from the Twin Cities, right? So how much coke was he buying at a time, and how much was used up? It's totally possible that he did have a laptop-sized pile of cocaine. I mean, Camelot's maybe joked or said that it was like $20,000 a month worth of cocaine. That's probably enough to get a cocaine laptop size. I don't know. But I assume that the pile was much bigger before Nick's nose got around to it. Let's see. He says he's going to promise to get around to saying it. It's fucking amazing. Don't worry, bro. A guy committed a felony against, well, actually, he committed a misdemeanor against his wife for 1 Kayla nude unit, and openly violates his release conditions every day. Well, I mean, if he's openly violating his restraining order, why don't you just call up his parole officer and fix it up? They don't seem to care shit about Aaron talking the way he does. Now, he's not allowed to talk about Kayla, but he maybe can hint at her, things like that. The same thing that Nick does every day. It's, again, rules for thee, but not for me. Allegedly, he's violating his release conditions every day, and he continues to bring disrepute to her. Again, it's like how if you make $1 million in super chats and get cuckolded once, you're not a millionaire, you're a cuckold. If you get passed around at hedonism and at swinger parties and at anime conventions, and then you indulge in a little bit of dipping a toe in the waters, so to speak, her reputation is already gone behind. It's not coming back. Okay. It's gone. There's not much he can do worse. The only thing that's making the situation worse is Nick. Nick is perpetuating this story. He's keeping it alive, and especially by stoking the flames with the Melton's crew. He's the one that is responsible for making this so publicized. Aaron is a very small show, right? He's a big man in Minnesota. He's a big man at Stoney's. But on YouTube and in Nick's audience, he's got like, what, 300-400 live viewers on average, which is, again, not too bad, honestly. I know Nick will try and make you say that that's like a terrible number. It's actually not. It's actually pretty good. But nobody's listening to Aaron. The only person broadcasting this is Nick. Let's see. He did not tell the truth. Of course, Nick is the only arbiter of what's true. Guess we just have to put her on the stand. So this is I don't know. Someone tagged me in this. I don't know why. Maybe they just wanted me to see the insanity. I saw it, but I didn't comment on it. So someone was saying, like, what if April comes up and talks about it? But we'll have to see. So he's trying to say that, like, April would definitely come up and testify that Nick is a good boy. He says, I'll do to your family what he's been doing to me for 9 months or 11 months. We'll see how you chill out. So this is why, in regards to why he's not totally not crazy, is because Aaron just doesn't stop. Aaron just doesn't stop. It's Aaron. It's Aaron. It's Aaron. It's Aaron. It's Aaron. He's absolutely unhinged. You realize he talks about my family every single day, right? I don't know. And I'm surprised that Nick knows this. He must be watching the toe content. Like, maybe he just can't get enough. Maybe the only reason he knows is because he watches every single show, every single clip about him, and he reads every single page of Kiwi Farms. He says, except it wasn't a lie. Well, I mean, again, if Nick's lying, is his mouth moving? There you go. Let me see. All right, where's his really unhinged tweets? This is when he gets really crazy. This is when he does the old Warski thing. So he says, none of this is correct, bud. April is employed and is doing just fine without me, and certainly better than when he was with Aaron, was abusing her. Now, Nick loves to project, okay? Nick was an abusive husband, he's an abusive father, and he's an abusive boyfriend to April. This is a story that's reported by many of the people in the situation. And the thing is that allegedly now April has a new boyfriend who is flipping off Nick at traffic stops. But I heard there's a conspiracy about it. I don't really know. Sounds like a scorn lover. He absolutely is. He's about to do the special that he said to you as well in a second. There's only one thing. Let's see. Elaborate. Elaborate or cut it out. Aaron Eamholt abused April. There. Oh, that's some spicy words. Aaron abused her after she left St. Cloud. Whoa, this steel toe guy has crossed country superpowers to abuse women. Could you please confirm that Aaron Eamholt abused April Anderson? Thanks. Yes. And then we're getting to it. Neat. Why are you still talking about your ex-boyfriend while huffing whippets? Because he isn't dead yet. Why don't you die, Warski? Why don't you die, Yellow Flash? Why don't you die, Aaron? He's literally just that, like, little guy. like that little nerd in high school that's like, I just wish my bullies would just die. Just please, God, you owe me one. Please kill Aaron Holte and Worski and Yellow Flash because he didn't believe me when I said I wasn't giving my kids drugs or whatever. Oh dear, absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy. How would this be a win? A retard exposed my private life to harm my wife and me because he couldn't cope with his inadequacy as a father and a husband, as well as his tiny penis. The shit he has done gets people put in the fucking dirt. Good thing I'm pro-life. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're not a woman, you're not a child, and you're not in an elevator, you have nothing to fear from Nick Rekieta, okay? Those are the only things he's a threat to, okay? What is he going to do to a man? The government took away his guns, okay? Now, I think like a lot of people have joked that because Nick was a big fan of American Beauty, that's how the story is going to end. If you remember the movie, and I actually only ever saw American Beauty on a plane, so I got the edited version, I guess. But the end of American Beauty, there's a Nazi guy, and he's like a closeted male enjoyer, and he thinks that the main character is into him. He says no, and then he sneaks up behind him, shoots him. I guess maybe he walks up the front. I don't know. It's not a very good movie. I don't really care to pay attention. And basically, he gets killed by being scorned by this gay guy. That's absolutely what's going to happen to Aaron. This is the only way the story ends. Nick is going to murder and wear Aaron's skin, I suppose. That would be my guess. My guess there. So very, very, very level-headed. Cool heads prevail, right? Now, what do we got here? We got a sad little story called Sobriety. I'm going to like this video. Oh, this got a lot of likes in this one, right? Also, Sporkmaster with a 10 Hong Kong dollars. Sorry. He says, meme abuse my wallet. Better do some booger sugar. Hey, look, if I could abuse all of your wallets, I would. I'm not a very good grifter, I'll be honest. Okay. If you like the stream, if you want to donate, that's great. But if you don't want to, that's fine. Just, give us a like. Maybe say lol in chat or say hi or something, and I'll be happy because this is just a hobby for me. Unlike some of the people that are struggling. Of course, I'm struggling. I can't even get over 500 live viewers, which is very sad, very embarrassing. But this is a fun little hobby I have on the side. But it's sort of for fun and profit. But I'm having a good time. I hope you're having a good time too, chat. So let's see. Sobriety and partying is your hobbies, probation, and testing woes. Let's see what he says.
No, not
this is when he returns from Hackamania.
Nick, do you like sobriety being forced on you? No, not at all. I don't like anything forced on me. But
that's funny.
No, I don't like sobriety being forced on me, but I don't mind sobriety. It's really fine.
So I'm going to cough for a second. This is the face. Wait, I got to go back in frame. This is the face of a man that's doing fine. Look at him. Hold on a second. We're gonna do some real-time memeing here over here, okay? Let me see. There we go. Crop. Can I do like some text here? Let's see. Well, it's fine. It's fine. There you go. Wait, let me make this bigger. This is terrible. This is absolutely garbage, just like all of my content. Oh dear, there we go. No, it doesn't even fit. There we go. It's you know what? It's fine. It's fine the way it is, chat. It's fine. 10 stuff. No, we don't get stickers on YouTube, unfortunately. Kick does look like a lot of fun. I might make a Kick channel just for messing around. Then I can play like copyright music and stuff, but it's fine, chat. It's fine. It looks like he's fine. It looks like he's having a great time. Kitty is also having a great time as she's been a member for 24 months. She says, you've been abusing my wallet for 2 years. Cheers, bruv. Thank you very much.
Really fine. For me, one of the hardest things to kind of figure out.
Oh, wait, no, wait. I get to use, I'm going to use my next week's Simpsons reference right now. I'm going to use it right now because I have the perfect meme response to this. Here we go. This one. Called Feeling Fine.
What he's typed will be a window into his madness. Feeling fine. Wow, that's a relief.
Oh man, that's such a good episode of The Simpsons. Feeling fine. Scarecrow also says, Nick, is Hide the Pain Harold at 40? That's a rough 40.
Was like, so mind you that this all happened before I had started streaming full time again. So I knew the enforced sobriety.
Interesting. Okay, we got a secret message that was just given to me. What is this? What is this? We might have some drama on the horizon. All right, I'll bring this up. What does it say? So we have a message from Null, the owner and operator of the Kiwi Farms. He says, I need someone willing to drive to Spicer to get in touch, preferably from the same group of people as before. But I know how many of them had to go their way. DM me. What could this be? Oh, no. Oh, no. What could it be, chat? What could it be? Is somebody going to pick up a USB drive containing something? I wonder what happened. Ooh. What do you guys think it is? All right. What do you guys think it is? We'll do a poll in chat. We'll do a last poll for the stream, I guess. We still got a bit of content to go, though. But things might get very interesting. Let's see. What is the mystery drive? Docs body cam. It might be the body cam because they do like to send out USB drives because they're boomers. Nothing ever happens. Oh, that's spicy. We might have a secondary Nick stream this week. Maybe on Friday. We'll see. All right. Results session. And I do one more time. I'll ask the last time. I won't say it one more time. Please like this stream. It would help me out immensely and make me feel better. Even though I do feel pretty good today. All right. Let's see. Returning to a man who feels fine. Let's see what he has to say.
It was coming. And so the hard question is like, what do you do when all of your hobbies or like all of the activities that you do for recreation involve at that point involve like drugs and alcohol? Like, what do you do with that?
Chat, what do you do? I have drugs and alcohol has gone from my life. What do I do with my free time? I don't know what I can do. How about video games? Why don't you paint some models? You know what? You've got a little paint lying around. Why don't you paint some little models? You could do a collaboration with Sean. I understand that he enjoys painting the odd model. You could read. You could spend time with your children. You could spend time with your wife. You could binge Star Trek. You could do literally anything. But he's super busy. He's super busy. He couldn't stream for a year because he's super busy. Even though his hobbies have been taken from him, like that mean uncivil law who stole his favorite toy, which was his AI voices. Because as we know, Nick likes to get his little AI voices together and then make Wii copies of people, then put you in the other copies of Wii people, and then he plays his sick little games, his sick little voice games.
Finding out how you're going to fill your time was the hard thing. Being busy is great.
I mean, yeah, it is kind of. People want freedom, but like honestly, if you keep yourself busy, you'll be much happier. That doesn't mean you have to be working all the time. It just means keep yourself busy. When people like they have a calling, they have something they love, they do it every day, they think about it all the time, and they keep doing it forever, and they have the best lives. Those are the best people. Like you see someone that like they lose their job or they retire and they just sit down and watch the stories on the box or whatever. Those are the people that just melt into their chairs and become like you know, like they're like 60 and then the next day they're like 80. Yeah, you got to keep yourself busy. Man craves doing something. You need to have a purpose and a goal in your life. Unfortunately, now that drugs and alcohol are no longer available and spending time with your wife is just awful, apparently, I guess. Nick has decided to make his new calling getting steel toe in the ground, which I'm not sure is very constructive, but a little bit crazy. Also, what is a DKK? So Jacob Hansen for 50 Donkey Kong coconuts says that explains why Josh was so ready to bet with Ralph yesterday. What is that about? Ooh. Are you feeling good, chat? Are you feeling good, chat? Oh man, I'm feeling good. I think we're gonna have a fun little week. Now, I assume that Null will premiere the content on his own channel, which I guess we'll have to watch. We'll all have to be the take a page from Nick Rekieta's book and be the corner cucks as we watch the footage. But I believe there is, I want to say 19 hours or something of it. Isn't it like 8 cops, 2 hours each or something? We'll have to see. A lot of it will be the same stuff, but man, I can't wait to see that. Like, I can't wait to see the absolute state of the roach-infested garbage floor. We'll continue though.
So I love
what is going to be in the cupboards of secrets. Okay, so I should probably clarify this because people kind of ran away with this story a little bit. So I made a reference in one of my streams. It was hidden in one of the dinosaur streams where I talked about there being a secret cupboard that was something about Harry Potter. Some people made some wild allegations that it was like magic wand dildos or something. No, basically the story that I heard, one of the stories that I heard is that the daughter that tested positive for the drug use, that Nick has yet to explain, by the way. He could have got he actually talks about how he can get tests all the time instantly, but he never got any for his kids. He never petitioned his lawyer to get tests with kids. For some reason, the same daughter, the favorite daughter, sometimes she would sleep in the toy closet. There's like a toy closet or something underneath the staircase. That's why we're saying Harry Potter with like the boy that lives under the stairs. Apparently she would sleep under there sometimes. I don't think it's a discipline thing. I think she just likes doing it. I'm just curious to see if there's like a little blanket and a pillow in there and something like that. Because if that story is true, then it'll confirm some other stories that I've heard that are much worse than that. So that was I was just kind of throwing that out there because I wanted it on the record so that if this body cam does come out and that toy closet is there, and it is like I say, then it'll give me confidence to maybe talk about some of the other stories that are quite bad. Like I said, Nick likes to project. He projects a lot onto Aaron. And you know how he used to go pretty hard at Ron Toye for being like an abusive father and abusive husband? I'm starting to think that the reason he went so hard on Ron Toye is because that he was projecting his own sins onto another person and then attacking them because, he wanted to attack. He doesn't know how to deal with the guilt, essentially, is what I'm saying.
These trial streams. And I love the plans that I have to, add more content.
Confession through projection.
And kind of rev things up and everything because it keeps me busy and gives me something to do. The hard part was just thinking like I don't know what to do anymore.
Spend time with your family, or read a book, or paint a model.
Just because you get into a habit of like, oh, it's every time you get done with streams, it's like, all right, you're either already lit up, or you're gonna go get lit up. And then you're going to do whatever depends on the time frame we're talking about. But there was a time where it's like, all right, you're going to get lit up and either go to a bar or like sing karaoke with your friends or whatever in your living room. And both of those really were really fun.
So this is what's happening right now. This is what the chat is screaming. I know that everyone in the chat is screaming this at Nick right now. So Nick, this woman, this is chat, and the child is Nick. All right, I missed the good part. That's what I was looking for. Chat's screaming, "Why can't you just be normal?" And then he just sees. This is just it's an Australian woman, based Australian woman. Yeah, there's no Babadook.
But that doesn't really happen anymore. So then you have to figure out how else
D's with a member for 3 months. So it seems a lot of people haven't seen the Ralph Pill stream yesterday. He was showing pills and bottles on stream. Nick Null called in. I heard a little bit of that, but I was busy today. I had shit to do. Like, I heard it was pretty wild. I heard that Ralph was arguing with a recording for like 10 minutes or something. I think the casino talked about it as well. I caught a snippet of that. And then Null called in. I thought that Null was recording too, but apparently he just called in to tease Ralph or something. Very funny, and hopefully there's some clips I can watch later in the week.
You're going to fill your time. You paid $50K to keep drinking. I did not pay $50K. I paid $5K.
Yeah, so the bond you pay 10%. This is a non-refundable bond, by the way. So he literally paid $5,000 to keep drinking.
That's how
which is 10%. And if he'd like fled or whatever, then he would have been charged the additional 50.
Bonds work. And partly to keep drinking, but the other part is because violating release conditions puts you in jail. Not having release conditions is better. If you have the money, pay it. Every single time, pay it.
It must be nice to have rich parents, I guess.
If I hadn't paid it, I would have also had to pay for 11 months of random drug and alcohol testing, which gets really expensive depending on the schedule that you're on. For the 6 months during our family case, the schedule for random testing was very aggressive. Now, there's a difference for family cases because they're technically civil rather than criminal. So the state has to pay for your drug testing in the family cases. So that was nice. Although there were some weird circumstances where we had to pay for a bunch of them, but that's okay. But yeah, in the the regular thing, like right now on probation, I have to pay for my random tests.
I will say that I think this is bullshit. Paying for your own tests when you're mandated by the government to do it, this is bullshit to me. But I mean, he can suffer, so I don't really care too much about it.
It's just part of it. But I don't get tested near as often under my current probation as I did on release. Like it was 3 to 5 times a week. It's very expensive. Make no mistake. I mean, you're paying for your lawyer, but you're also paying for whatever the state does. I would pay out a bond every single time unless I just absolutely could not afford it. Not Cupcake says 3 to 5 tests per week. What happens if one can't afford to test it up? And again, the schedule that I was on, that was for the family stuff. And I believe it was much more aggressive because the concern is different, right? So for probation, they want a sort of Damocles that hangs over your head. They want you to not know when you're going to have to test, but they don't need to test you that often because if they're going to catch you, they're going to catch you. Like they will. And so, they...
Even though Nick has talked about how you can like beat tests and things like that. And these tests are only effective 1 in 5 times when it's his children, but when he's getting tested, 100% accuracy. He never caught it doing any drugs. These tests are perfect whenever he's getting tested. But when kids are being tested, no, these things are like 1 in 5. Now, Nick said, I think he's had like hundreds of drug tests over the last year or something. But all of them came back clean. Amazing accuracy on these tests, apparently.
It might be once a week. It might be once every 2 weeks, or it might be, 2 to 3 times in the same week. It could be whatever. But on the family case, they want to make sure that everybody in the house is safe. Particularly that you're not using around any kids. So they have a much more aggressive schedule because they're concerned about the use and the danger it presents to others. And so then the purpose is much more preventative. That's so it happened a lot more. And the reason that matters is because in the family case, the state has to pay for all the tests. So outside of specific circumstances, without getting too deep into it, for example, there was a period of time where we needed to, for our case, generate a bunch of tests that showed immediately that there was no drug consumption happening. So we needed immediate results tests.
So these are the tests that he got after he was arrested, but then they refused or retracted their consent to that showed that they were actually testing hot. Amazing. He didn't get a single test of his children being clean to show people. Like, even if, like, there's a certain amount of people that will never believe Nick no matter what he says, okay? But if Nick had one test of his daughter that tested positive for coke, and it said a clean test in a week, or 2 weeks, or even 77 days after he got his kids back, because these tests are allegedly effective for up to 90 days. So he was inside the window of error. He didn't ask his grandparents to go. He didn't go with his grandparents who had the kids because he says the government had them, but his grandparents had it. He never got them tested once. He never petitioned his lawyer once to ask for a test. He just said the government dropped it, and that's all there is to it. And then he went on a bunch of Quora pages and finding these quack doctors that was like having these orgies with nurses to tell you that apparently cocaine metabolites can metabolize outside the body and then get fused into the hair if boiling water or something is on there. Like, it's completely nonsense. It's just nonsense. There's no explanation for this. And the fact that people are buying his reasoning, saying the government stopped testing, so therefore I'm innocent, is insane. Government drops things all the time for any number of reasons. It is not good enough, the answer he's given, and he has still not came out and said why.
So the state doesn't use immediate results tests. They use
this is likely what it is.
Cup, and they just send it off. And you don't know if you pass or you don't know what the results are. They get them, it takes like a week or so for them to get the results from those. But there are instant tests that are available, but they cost twice as much. So there was a period of time where...
Why didn't Nick just get an instant test for his daughter? Is he broke? He's got enough money to fly down to Vegas to spend Mother's Day weekend. I forgot, there's one detail I forgot to mention, is it was Mother's Day weekend he decided to spend with a bunch of fat men to talk about his ex-lover, Aaron. Now, I think he did get back on Sunday, so he got to spend a bit of the time, but I guess Kayla's probably happy to have him out of the house, to be honest. I mean, gives her a bit of free time to maybe go see her boyfriend.
We wanted to show the judge that, that we were completely clean, obviously, and we could prove it, and we could prove it like that on a daily basis. And so we said that for all the random testing, we would pay to have the instant test addition put on to all of them. So there were times where we did pay for the test, but that was purely because we were using that to build our case.
The government wouldn't
against the
let
state.
him. He could have at least petitioned his lawyer. He could just say, "Look, I tried to get the test." He could have said, "Look, we tried. They refused." He could have got it after he got the kids back. There is so many things that I would have done in this situation, although I'll never be in this situation because I would never have a child test positive for cocaine. It's insane. Check DM.
That's the fortune of having resources, because if those tests are the instant tests are $75 a pop, and you have 2 people, so it's 100.
All right. So apparently there's so Nick, is Baldo not streaming tonight? What is this? Daffodil says he was over an hour late to his stream and is only now realizing that court got cancelled today. Wait, is it? I mean, then he can talk about he has more time to seethe. That's good for him. Oh, that's wonderful. That's funny. Is court cancelled today? I thought court was going today. I thought, wasn't Kurt streaming today as well? Play the song. But is he streaming or not though? Wait, I have to check. Let me see. No, he's streaming right now. He's got 880 people watching. That's good, Nick. That's nice. You're getting up there, buddy.
$150, and if you're getting hit 3 to 5 times a week with $150 a day charges, it gets real fucking expensive real fast. And it's just one of the damn shames of the criminal justice system.
I'm not going to lie. I am a little bit mad about Victor Mignogna's situation still.
Or the civil justice system, that resources play such a massive role in it. I mean, a family making, even normal money, they just can't afford that shit. I mean,
this is true. Like Nick does, like a broken clock is right twice a day. These drug tests, I do think this is like the boot of the government. The only thing is that the boot of the government literally saved Nick his entire life and possibly his entire family. Because we talk about Nick heading to an early grave because of the abuse that he was doing, and he looked like he was on death's door those last few streams, right? A much more tragic event could have occurred when he was doing the dangerous things he was doing, like when he would get drunk until 5 a.m. in the morning and then be driving people to, hundreds of miles to violin practice the next day. These are the dangerous things that could have occurred, that could have taken the most precious thing in life away from him. And he should honestly be thanking government that they were smart enough to take away his adult privileges for the next 5 years and demote him to literal child or man-child so that he can learn to be a good, well, maybe, hopefully a decent person. I won't say good person, but, you never know what happened. Maybe he has a great turnaround. That'd be good for him.
$450 a week at minimum, being just added to your budget all of a sudden. It's crazy. You get your 30-day coin. I'm not like, there's no coin. I'm not in a program or anything. My program is the state said don't drink. That's it.
Well, I mean, no drugs, no alcohol, 80 hours probation. That's going to be the hardest one. Like, I'm pretty sure that not drinking is easy, because you just keep the drugs, keep the booze out of your house. But he's going to have to go pro-social activity for 80 hours to literally government mandated friendship. Hopefully he finds some good characters there and doesn't try to steal their wives or trade his wife away to get a crack at some strange, because he's so desperate to get even a crumb of pussy that he decided to cheat on his wife and break the sanctity of his marriage that he'd had for 18 years or something.
I don't need a group for that, because if I do it, I'll go to prison, not just jail. Spark Jekyll 614 says, do you have a chance to get off probation? I had to do my classes, paid fees. You have to do half the ordered probation time. I mean, yes, I am eligible for early ending of probation, but it's up to me.
All right, I think that's about enough as this one we need to say. Let's skip forward to see if there's anything else. Alyssa usually leaves in something good in the end. It probably does
have to do with the fact that how you say?
No, it's just yapping, just more yapping and yapping. Okay, good stuff. Where are we now? All right, so now we get to the Blue Chews. Broke Dick Nick, the Burkhard break time boy. Aaron, there was sorry, I got a cough for a second. Still recovering. Chat. You got to send your power to me so that I can survive and keep causing Nick to seethe. Rent free. So as Nick was seething against Aaron and saying that Aaron's going to be in the dirt and that, like, you got to watch out for him because he's a big, tough guy, even though the only people he threatens is women and children and elevators, allegedly. The story came out from the rats in the ship. They were actually, I got them here. Here we go. Good. So there was leaks in the Discord. Trolls in the Discord So Moody is the New Zealand guy who's responsible for, like, he's like the tech guy or whatever. He let out a leak. He says, I don't know April and have never spoken with her. I assume she's living in the place she was doxxed at. Based on what Nick has told me, he hasn't spoken to her in months. The last time he came close, that was in January when he saw her car at a traffic light and her boyfriend flipped him off. Doesn't seem like the boyfriend is protective. Oh, sorry. It seems like the boyfriend is protective. Now, April's the kind of chick that she goes from man to man to man to man, and then she tells you about how bad the previous boyfriend was. So when she was with Nick, Aaron was the monster, and this is probably one of the reasons that Nick is so annoyed at Aaron, is that he's, he loves April. He wishes he was with his thin, younger woman who doesn't watch Star Trek at all, because that's a nerd pursuit. And then she would listen to stories about how being Aaron was a piece of shit, and then he can literally save her and fix her. But now she's moved on to the next guy, and now she's telling those same stories about how Nick was a piece of shit, allegedly. Now, there's some people have suggested that this is a gay op, that this leak was pre-planned so that they could say that Nick really does have, April does have a job and a boyfriend. I don't know if this chick doesn't have a job. I don't think so. Her job is finding a new man's life to destroy. That's what she is. She's a bunny boiler. But some people are suggesting that it's a gay op. I don't know. It's up to you to decide. What do you think? Do you think the boyfriend is real? Press 1. If you think it's fake, press 2. I think it's funny either way, because either Nick is flipping himself off in his own imagination because he's such a piece of shit, or it's just the new boyfriend just hates Nick and is very rightly so trying to keep April away from him, which is driving him insane because he needs to get that woman that cares about him, because he doesn't feel those emotions from Kayla. So it's funny either way. There is some inconsistencies with this story, as I understand it. I think that Nick told this story in, said it was happening in March. He said it was happening in January. What's happening on here? Nobody knows. Nobody really knows. But anyway, in the wake of that, Aaron came out and told about the extra boyfriend, and then also that that Nick needed to get this super strength blue chews because his dick don't work. And now Nick admitted it. This is the funniest thing. He says, I found, is it Rekieta? I found Rekieta before I met Aaron in April because Molly and Coke make things softer. Oh, he's nothing but a big softy. I mean, taking it with Molly and Coke should have killed me, but he's such a strong man. He's like, he can go through all the stuff. But it was also really fucking great. Aaron didn't do Coke much at all and did bitch doses of Molly. Okay. He asked me about Rekieta, I don't know, which is why April knew he had them. Now, admitting to using the blue chew is a bold move. Okay. Now, it wouldn't be something that I would do, but I don't need these things. Now, here's the funniest thing. This is the funniest thing. So there's a I think it's a smaller A-log show that does mostly Aaron stuff. They're called Pretty Antisocial. So this is how they found out this was true. So Aaron says Nick needs the double dose, the 26 milligrams instead of the 5 milligrams for his dick, because it's so broke that even the 26 milligrams doesn't work. So Pretty Antisocial says the weird cope has been Aaron saying April came to see him if he had anything stronger than blue chews. Looks like he did, and he hands it over. Aaron is the one who had the Rekieta. Look it up. He says it is 4 times stronger than blue chews. And then Nick says, responding to this, when you have to take a load of Molly and Coke, la mole. And then actual Steel Toe Wearer says, that's what I'm saying. How to fuck on Coke is no reflection of your actual dick game. Sorry to be so crass, ladies. Then Pretty Antisocial says the cope was him trying to own Nick by saying he needed to help. He needed the help, but guess who had the big dog stuff? Aaron. So they're trying to turn around. They're trying to say Aaron had these blue chews, the super strength blue chews all along. Haha, we got you, Aaron. You wouldn't have had to hear him tell the story. Of course, there's going to be issues with all the use going on. That wasn't the point. La, 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 ha, ha, ha. So they're trying to own Aaron. Then Nick just comes out. He's like, wait a minute. People are trying to make fun of me and Aaron. Hold my beer. Well, I mean, hold his non-alcoholic drink. I found Rekieta before I met Aaron. And so he had it before. Even before the throuple came into the situation, he needed the super dose to get it up for his wife. Nick's own words is that her body is destroyed. He finds her body disgusting. He said that after 5 kids, her body was wrecked. He's thinking about Arby's. Like, he's not loving it though. Is that I don't know. It's a bold move to come out here. Like I said, it's kind of a kamikaze strike, but Is it Rekieta? I don't know. Rekieta? I don't know. I can't read. Don't even pretend. Rekieta Men's Health with 2 Australians says, please leave our best customer alone. Very funny. Scarebro says, sent another DM. Nick changes tune. Aaron and drugs. I'll check that out in just a second. Jamie Moodley, member for 9 months, says, it's crazy how many W's Nick gave Ron Toye. Oh, I read that one already. Yes. But it was still mad about that. Still a little bit mad about that. $680,000 is the expenses that Nick caused Vic Mignogna to have because he chose Ty Beard as a non-defamation lawyer who could allegedly do everything because he had passed the bar. Well, probably should have hired a specialist because Ty Beard's faulty notarization ended up costing Vic the case. All right, let me see. What is this? What is this? Probably won't go through this one, but let's see what Scarebro sent us through. Let's see what he says. What is this? Scarebro is doing a lot of work for me tonight. He's a good boy. All right, this is Scarebro's post. He says, to further this, apparently, let me zoom out a little bit. There we go. So in response, this is in response. I survived mixing my ED meds with illicit drugs in a combination that would have killed lesser men. Aren't I amazing? Also, my ex-boyfriend does wussy doses. Also, no child doser. It is Aaron who can't get it up. So to further this, apparently Aaron is both on cocaine and apparently too much of a wuss to do it. Very desperate for Aaron to be worse. Let's see. He says, I love that someone, what? I love that he thinks someone coming is luck. I guess. What? I'm more convinced side piece has him on coke. That's I believe that's Aaron's girlfriend. He's calling her side piece. And that Aaron is he leaves his show 2 or 3 times now, rubs his nose a ton, has weird zombie energy. So he's implying that Aaron does coke. I mean, again, it's just projection through confession through projection. Sorry, I'm getting a bit frazzled. What is this? Oh, okay, respond to that later. All right, now I think we'll kind of start to wind down the stream. Even though we have this big, exciting, I need someone willing to drive to Spicer. What could this be, chat? The body cam? Looks like 53% say it's the body cam. Now, so Nick shared all his DMs with, well, not all of them. He shared the ones that made him look the best. Alyssa Clips put out this thing. She says, Nick Rekieta's 23 paragraph of cope aggressively monogamous with our lady. So this is, I mean, this is what happens. If you share DMs, eventually people will share your DMs. And let's see what Nick, and this is like a dramatic reading, actually. So Alyssa actually put a lot of work into this. Let's check this out. Let's see what they have to say. So this is Nick and Alyssa Clip's secret DMs, never seen before. Let's check it out.
I just want to point out, you literally call her Lady R's. That's a bit disingenuous. Anyway, Happy New Year's. Yes, that's me making light of the fact that you have absolutely made your wife sound like a whore. I don't blame her for any of this. It falls on you. You knew better, and she deserves better. You're openly encouraging others to ogle what should be your personal pride and joy. What have you done to make me think it was anything but okay to call her Lady Hours? The impression is you want her to be communal. Day after.
I mean, can we just say Alyssa W? Like, this is just like people to keep saying to Nick, like, Nick, respect your wife. Stop fucking other women. It's like, how dare you say our wife instead of Lady Rekieta? She's a lady. She's a lady. A lord and a lady. When all people are saying is like, you're treating your wife like a slut, maybe stop doing that and people will respect her. But he sees that people don't just fall in line under the guidance of the law Pope. But this is a W for Alyssa, telling it like it is.
After day, you go into locals chat and openly flirt and drool over other women and their nudes. I'm not in your marriage. I don't know what agreements you two have in place, but don't throw stones when you're living in a glass house. I'll stop using the phrase, but the person disrespecting your wife is you.
True. Can we get some trues in the chat? Like, actually true. Wait, Scarebro, that's your voice? I provided Kayla's voice with parody services? Okay. That's interesting. I guess first reveal of the voice. Give you a little light on your chat. Wait, there we go. That's true though. Yo, chat, true.
Openly encouraging others to ogle what should be your personal pride and joy? Yeah, I don't think so. I guess we aren't going to see eye to eye on this, but I'm not posting pictures of her and screaming to the world to jerk off. She posted a couple pictures along with other people who were posting at the time. You act like I made a Playboy spread of her, which is insane. That was something like 4 to 6 weeks ago, by the way.
I mean, she stuck a bottle in her ass. She was thirst posting. You were too.
and she basically hasn't been in local since. Yet there's an impression that she is constantly posting lewd pictures. She really never even posted a lewd picture, by my definition, or that I am. Who developed that impression? You're blaming me, but that narrative doesn't match reality. Agreements we have in place, we both appreciate the human body, and we actually like people. We joke around and have a good time.
I mean, I guess unless you're Kurt, right? We actually like people, unless you're a nerd. I mean, the only people that Nick likes are literally just people that hate Aaron. He would rather be friends with Ethan Ralph, a guy that called his wife a slut, a guy that called his children retarded. But Ethan Ralph, he kissed the Baldo, so he's welcome back into the fold. Like with friends like that, who needs enemies? Skidbro also says, no, it's someone else. Kayla's AI voice parody. Oh, okay. I see.
Time with people who like to joke around and have a good time.
It's just funny. It's just funny jokes, chat. It's just funny jokes. We're sticking bottles up our asses as jokes. Okay. What's the punchline to this? It's insane.
We joke around and have a good time with people who like to joke around and have a good time. Neither of us is aiming to pick up anyone, and that context is completely dissolved by other people who have.
So this is just like showing that Nick is a liar, because the swinging was already happening. I believe the first instance that was kind of publicized was like a secret, open secret, was that Nick tried to swing with what was her name? It's like something Sushi or something. It was like this cosplayer at Anime Matsuri. I think as far back as Anime Matsuri this was going on. I forget the name. Somebody tell me. They'll know what it is. It's like someone Gothic Sushi. Thank you very much.
Decided that we simply must be fucking a bunch of other people because we interact with confidence in each other and the strength of our marriage. I've talked about this a shitload, and everyone used to agree that consent was super gay. Yet here we have a whole section of people who don't consent to how we interact with other people.
Like, for anyone that doesn't know the deepest lore, this is a story that they told on stream that Kayla just announced on stream. What happened is you can judge this situation for yourself, but Kayla went to go get like a full body massage, and she had a coupon for 2 visits or something. And then like the guy was like a muscular, swarthy gentleman, maybe like oiled up, whatever, is rubbing Kayla's body. And then he says, "Do you want me to massage your chest?" She flips over, and she's like, "Yeah, okay, my chest." She thought like up here, like this is her story. This is her words, like up here. He then fully starts massaging her tits and nipples and everything. And she's like, "Whoa, buddy," in her story. And she was like, "This is totally not okay, but I'm going to stay for the entire session." And then she tells this story to Nick, and then she goes back. She's like, "Well, I had the coupon for the second thing. It'd be a waste of money to not go back." I mean, judge for yourself. It's a funny and weird story. Maybe it was all innocent and the guy was it was just a mistaken situation, okay? So judge it for yourself. But the funny thing is she goes back. Oh my goodness. Just get a refund or something. Oh my goodness. Any chest massage enjoyers in the chat? I had to get molested again. It was free. Well, it wasn't free. You already paid for it, right? Oh dear.
And seriously,
I mean, maybe they're hard up on
people
cash.
Attractive and having fun, flirty conversations in a semi-public forum that either person can check at any point is really not some massive risk. By the way, I've literally always commented on the attractiveness of women on the show. I've complimented people who look good. I talk about people's looks, and I have done so for 5 years.
I mean, he's talked about fat chicks. That's true. I still think my headcanon is that Nick's first love was like a fat chick, and she turned him down, and that's why he hates fat people so much. He has a really weird, funny and weird aversion to fat people. I don't think people should be fat. I think you should get healthy. I mean, I say I'm a bit of a chunky man myself, right? But he's really like that sort of hatred only comes from being either bullied by fat people or having your heart broken by fat people, or perhaps both. Maybe he was bullied by a fat girl, and that's why he's so aggressive to women in elevators and things. Who knows?
No one ever commented that that was somehow disrespecting my wife before, yet now that something changed, she gets to be labeled a whore? Finally, how have I made my...
I mean, he's just calling a spade a spade. He went to a swingers resort. Oh, wait, there was really something funny I forgot to show, actually, where maybe I have it somewhere. We'll see.
My wife sound like a whore. I talk about her with the highest praise.
That's what. Sorry, it's gone now because Melton has been copyright striking everyone that's been playing clips from from Hackamania. But there was a conversation, one of the leaked DMs between Nick and Aaron was that Nick was upset because Aaron was calling both April and Kayla sluts or in their relationships or whores or something. And he was like, whoa, buddy, you got to learn how to talk to women. So unironic, another win for the toe. He called it. He was calling them sluts even when he was married to one of them or whores. I can't remember exactly which one. But you know, it's W's a W.
Talk about her being more beautiful than ever, that she and I are 100% with each other. The swinging shit and the horror narrative and the bull cuck shit literally comes from other people who got mad that we posted a total of, what, 5 pictures, despite me consistently stating that we are exclusive and monogamous, despite her stating it and exactly why she posted her pictures. This is the bullshit of the internet. You can't explain anything. You can't argue. It's cope, right? You're always mad, right?
And
both of us have stated specifically what happened and why. It was disregarded, and that was all a cope as well. But in case you forgot that this all happened in mid-November, here's what she said.
Zoom in and
I want to say something. I know it's probably
come on now. You can't do Nick's Gollum wife like this. Come on now. This is some liberties were taken in this illustration of Kayla. Okay, she looks better than this.
stupid to even address it, but I hate being
Legal
the center of
mindset
drama for Nick. I'm
says,
not
what's
stupid.
up, fellow copers?
I know that people make
We're struggling over here, Andrew. We're struggling over here. Nick's not taking my advice, even though I didn't offer him advice. I just commented on the situation. But we can't even struggle. We can't get over 500 viewers, so Nick can't take my advice, even though he showed up for his own stream 1 hour late and didn't realize the trial wasn't on today. So Baldos ain't streaming tonight. We'll have to play the song on the way out. Great song.
Their own truths based on their perceptions, and reality doesn't matter to these people. However, here's the truth. I like having fun. I think I have a beautiful body, and I love taking and sharing pictures. I wouldn't ever post actual nudes. I'm not fishing for compliments or trying to inflate my ego.
Yes, you are. Why would you post a thirst pic if not to get attention?
Guys are proud of their cars and guns. I'm proud of the body I take care of. I'm having a good time, laughing with friends, and enjoying the beauty of the human body. Nick is my only partner. We don't fuck around. We aren't swingers.
If you're a member of my chat, you get access to special emojis. There's one that you have to post right now. You know what it is. You know what it is.
But I also don't fucking care if other people do. It's none of my business. Like I said, it doesn't matter. People will always believe what they want, but at least the truth will be here.
This insane Lady Hours shit was never from us. I have never, ever expressed desire to step out on her or that either of us would be okay with the other sleeping around. Monogamy has always been the message without exception.
Without exception, monogamy. Andrew says. Legal mindset says. Can't even get it over 500. Nick already needs to take purple pills to get it up. What's the YouTube version? Well, apparently it's buying likes because there's some weird things going on with his analytics. Who can say though? I think my running theory with that is it was a fan that's doing it now, but they're actually hurting Nick by doing that because that's a really good way to get your channel removed is by buying likes or views.
I make an hour-long video about it, you'd clip it up and call it a cope, and so would everyone else. If I made a 5-minute speech about it, you'd clip it up and call it a cope, and you know it. Actually, it's probably already happened.
Actually, while we do have a lawyer in the chat, we need to ask a legal opinion, even though we had Curtin here earlier. All right, so Andrew, what do you think this could mean? Noel posted a very strange message on the Kiwi Farms. He says, I need someone willing to drive to Spicer to get in touch, preferably from the same group of people as before. But I know many of them had to go out of their way. DM me. What could be something in Spicer that somebody needs to pick up for the owner and operator of the Kiwi Farms? Could it be a flash drive, a thumb drive, perhaps containing a certain maybe documents or video files? Who can say? We don't know. It's a mystery at this time, but it's an interesting mystery. Let's hope it has an answer. I think it's happening, guys. I don't know. I feel good. The body cam, it could be the body cam. But what would a lawyer think that could be?
So again, there isn't a way to fight the internet or change minds. Hell, there isn't even a way for me to change your mind by talking to you. Both of us have said our piece about it and it is ignored or mocked. Also, I know you probably don't care, but there are multiple stories of the local chat saving marriages, helping people recover from surprise sex, helping people feel good about themselves for the first time in forever.
I mean, Nick did actually help some people's lives. I used to drink a lot more. Then I saw what it did to Nick's life, and I decided, you know what? This is not for me. I still get drunk on occasion. Sometimes I get drunk and play dinosaur games. Sometimes I get drunk and crash out on trials. But people have seen Nick's performance. They've seen that his dick is broke. They've seen that his career is tanked. They've seen that his marriage is ruined. They've seen that he's been a laughingstock and he's ruined his entire family name. The Rekieta name used to be known for donating hospital wings, and now it's known for seething on the internet to an increasingly dwindling fan base. So yeah, some people have seen that and then said, you know what? Maybe I do go to the gym today. Maybe I do put in that extra hour at work. You know, it's like that old poster. Sometimes your only purpose in life is to serve as an example. So congratulations, Nick. You earned it.
Lots of these people reach out and express that the way Lady R's and I interact is a big part of that, by the way. It gives them faith that their marriage could have fire in it again. It encourages them to adore their spouse, to tell their partners that they are sexy and desirable. I have never asked anyone to like anything that I do, but I like what I do. I know what I am, and I know.
I like me. I mean, if you have to convince other people that you like what you do, it should just be self-evident from your own life.
Know who my wife is. I always tried to help people foster good things online. I allow people freely to use my content, and I don't go after people who have disagreements or criticize me. Again, I'm really not sure what the list of things I did even is anymore, but people have run with a narrative counter to reality for over a month, no matter what I do. So I'm just going to continue being me. Doing anything else is exhausting. You probably don't know, but that wasn't a wine mom post. It was a guy posting a picture from the soft porn site. It's amazing how moderating a chat more than locals rules requires is bad.
I love this guy's narration. It's great.
And the Discord was far more gross than that picture. Weird how Josh got your revenge porn story wrong. I wonder what else people are getting wrong and why it might be irritating. Coping is weird, isn't it?
It's funny and weird.
Funny and weird, isn't it?
Called it, yes.
Would you like 50 Kayla nude units? Hey guys, it's funny and weird. Aaron ate my goo. Aaron ate my goo, guys. Aaron ate my goo.
All right, this part of the story is obviously being a little bit editorialized, but I'm going to allow it. Okay, I'm going to allow it in my
I love
courtroom.
Aaron. Aaron is so great. He had a really twisted penis, but Lady R loved it so
It's
much.
sick. It's twisted.
Man, I can't even call her Lady R's anymore because she's Lady Aaron's. Yeah, I know. I'm just a little cuck bitch that everybody hates. But hey, at least I can admit that I'm a cuckold. I've always been monogamous. I only stick my penis in one hole
Aggressively
at a time.
monogamous.
And sometimes that was Aaron M. Holte. But you know, so funny and weird. Funny and weird.
This is the thing, though. Like, the Cuck Murphy comparison is really good because Nick literally read the Cuck Murphy story. And if you went around for this, basically what happened is there's a guy called Jack Murphy, and he was like a conservative grifter guy, and he had like $50,000 a month in Patreon dollars or something. And it came out that he wasn't actually a Chad conservative, but he was actually a cuckold. And he had written an article about how Matt from Tinder would bang his girlfriend or whatever, but then she would come home to me. And he actually went out of his way. Him and Drexel went and they bought like the fake beard. It's like a ski hat or whatever. It's got like a fake beard with like string or whatever. And they went out of their way to go buy that so that they could imitate and mock relentlessly Jack Murphy for being a cuckold, because he said, yeah, she fucks other guys, but she comes home to me, damn it. And that makes me super hot. And then Nick would go on to become the cuckold. So, did he have these feelings all along, or was it something that warmed up to? Who can say? I mean, some people have suggested that it was a retaliation because of perhaps supposed infidelity in their relationship. Who knows? We don't really know. But it is very strange to see how Nick basically became everything he was sworn to destroy. Very sad. Very sad. But yeah, I think that's about what I got for you tonight. That was a fun little stream. Apparently, there's going to be another fun little stream coming up very soon when we get the body cam. Potentially. We don't know. Could be anything. But since Baldo ain't streaming tonight, I guess I'll play you out on that. So did I miss anything? Did I miss anything, chat? I think we got it all. There were some other details. There was some Keanu posting, but I'm never going to make my chat sit through Keanu. Oh, yeah, the 5K locals gift is basically being revealed. So this is another thing, is that Nick has announced that he's going to be making the 5K local gift himself. It's never going to fucking happen. But he said he's going to do it himself. And to make this happen, he bought a laser printer. Now, not laser printer, sorry, a laser cutter, laser etcher, like a 3D printer, whatever. It's a laser cutter, I believe. So basically, it has to be something that's flat. So basically, he's admitted that it's going to be coasters. I guess he could be making an image of April's chest. That's also flat, I suppose. Surfboards are all around. Who knows? But the funny thing is he doesn't know anything about ventilation, so he may actually drive himself insane with fumes from the laser. We'll have to see, but basically it was always going to be a coaster. Pretty predictable, pretty boring. So that's probably what it's going to be. Let me see. The Red with 5, he says, is I post thirst pits? Yeah, sorry, I'm getting a bit tongue-tied these days. Is I post thirst pics because I'm proud of my body, the most stereotypical whore cope ever invented, on par with only God can judge me? It's right up there. She's going to get a tattoo that says live, life, love as well very soon, I would imagine, to go with the other garbage tattoos that they defile their body with. Like, I'm not a big tattoo guy. I've said this before, but those tattoos that they have are awful, especially that one that says, like, I will be us. I don't know if they included Aaron in the I will be us or not, but it's a mystery. But yeah, there was some other stuff out there. But I had to get through all of this. I had to clear my schizo tabs because I had way too much stuff. We'll play Cocktails for you, and then I'll play the Borderlands streaming tonight, and then I'll send you off somewhere. Thank you very much for your support. Big stream today. I'm very surprised that because I was told that I could not get over 500 live viewers, which is, I guess, maybe not as accurate. But Nick does have a very tenuous grasp on reality and facts and logic. But let's see. All right, play us out. Not Kurt, sorry. My apologies, Sean. Oh, wait, I've muted. Have I been muted this entire time?
Here in noses stuffed with crack cocaine. Here in Cockburg, booze and pills to numb the brain. In the cover, let's keep it a mystery. Ba-ba-ba. And rewrite history. Cocktails. Woo!
Do I actually not have this on my thing? I thought I had this. Give me a second. I'm sure I have Baldo not streaming tonight is on one of my links. Oh, here it is. All right. Peace, chat. Have a good one.
It's almost 11, and there's still no stream. And Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's almost 11. And there's still no stream. And Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's 1 minute past 11. There's still no stream. And Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's 1 minute past 11, and there's still no stream. And Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's already 11, and there's still no stream. Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's no longer 11, and there's still no stream. And Baldo ain't streaming tonight. Almost 11, and there's still no stream. And Baldo ain't streaming tonight.